welcome to Showmance, the only show on the internet doing deep dives on shows with no depth.
Dives as deep as the sea of F-boys Sierra loves to swim around in. That's her second home. She's like a little mermaid in there.
Maybe her first home.
Womp, womp.
Yeah.
She doesn't have an F-boy that she's with currently in this episode.
Even when
right?
she's not with one, she's still with one.
Oh, okay.
Gravitates.
We all have a due north.
Yeah.
Maybe that's hers. Her north F-boy, like Orion's belt.
Yeah, it's like her comfy bed. Okay. Anyway.
Well,
I love so many things about this episode, and even if it was just the aesthetics of it, the
Really?
party was so. I hate theme parties.
I said that. Yes, I was thinking that when I was watching it. I was like, I'm sorry, Natalie, even you who hates theme parties.
I would love to go to this party. It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like everything about it was like
very Valley of the
Midsummer
Dolls.
Night's Dream or something.
Valley of the Summer Party.
Yeah.
I like to call this Paige and Sierra's lazy party.
This is the one thing that Paige has worked towards her whole life to accomplish that didn't give her a hand-numbing panic attack.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude.
Live, laugh, love.
Live, laugh, snooze.
Yeah.
I actually felt it was a snooze-themed party for a snoozy episode, so I'm excited to hear what you liked about it.
The kids were kidsing. The summer was summering.
No one's going to talk about the rise of Queen Lexi. Lexi for president?
I live for this show, and I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but I am the angel of death today. I just feel like a very negative person, so I'm just going to own it from jump. I feel like, yes, thank you, Lexi, for stepping forward and saying the things that you said, and we're going to get down to brass tacks. Next episode seems like it's going to be a real banger, but this one just seemed really, ironically, sleepy and snoozy, like the theme itself. Because, like, even the guys riding out, talking about, like, oh, Sierra touched you or, like, gave you a high five or whatever. Okay, awesome. Listen, they say time heals all wounds. On a certain level, it does. Like, you could see someone that was a real dick to you, and you see them 10 years later, and you remember that they were a jerk to you, but you also are just like, oh, hey, Dan, remember when we worked together? LOL, those cubicles. Like, you don't hold on to the anger as much as time passes. Like, it just fades a little bit.
Wait, whose anger are we talking about?
West and Sierra.
Yeah.
How West, they were talking about how West left last weekend, and Sierra actually said goodbye and didn't like cringe and run away. Like,
and that's how they started this episode in the car.
Okay.
Jesse.
Watching those two dudes in a car is like, it's like watching Lloyd and Harry in the
Shag and
dog
Wagon.
groom-mobile.
It's called the Shag and
Wagon on the way to Aspen, except it's also not at all because they are so much dumber and not in like the cool way. Also, they should be them for Halloween. They both could pull off the looks.
They totally could.
Also, I just want to state that I just ran out of clothes. So I found this a lot when I would actually like have to go and work like in corporate America. People would be like, you look so nice today. And I'd be like, all my clothes are dirty. So I had to wear something I like wore to a funeral, like something that you got for like an event of sorts. I can only stretch, 4 or 5 flannels out so far. Yeah. But I ordered some things.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Bitches be spending.
Anyways, nobody died. Well, people died. Don't get used to a blazer and a silk shirt. That's all. Carry on.
So we go to the car into the house and everyone's congratulating Amanda. At first I was like, oh my God, is she pregnant? Because I didn't know. I don't follow any of these people on social media. So I didn't know that she had launched her swim line. And I have to say, I'm really happy for her.
I know.
I was pumped about that. I remember we were talking about during City, Summer City or City in the Summer, whatever show that you're doing.
Yeah.
Somebody had made a comment that Lindsay would have to be on that show because none of these other girls share anything, and that's not untrue. But I made a thing. I was like, I would like to see Amanda running like a startup or like doing her thing. That'd be cool.
And how she's wanted to do this forever, but just didn't. And here's the thing, and I could bash on Kyle, but I'm not going to, because Kyle is not currently on my shit list, and like it's been really relaxing. I mean, he's just not currently on it. So I'm getting excited. He's not banned from it. He's just he's dormant on it.
The next sign is turning. The table might turn.
I mean, Here's the thing that I've noticed about him, and there's something he did later on that I thought that was just funny to me. But one thing that I could say that would be snarky would just be like, oh, I'm so excited to see Kyle pump up this swimwear line so hard and throw giant tantrums about if anyone wears any other swimwear aside from Amanda Batula swimwear. But I don't think that'll be happening because I just don't even think oh, did you do that, babe? Like, I don't think he's so like laser focused on his stuff.
Yeah.
And like on the flip of that, I get it because Mike is always like, I want to do this show. I want to go do a camping show. I want to do a golf show. And I'm like, we're going to need to focus on the one show.
No, Pat wants the golf show.
I know Pat does want the golf show.
I'm working for you, Pat. These two are going to take a little longer than I thought.
Right. But Mike is an idea machine. We have like a storage unit that I feel like there's a quarter of it with just a bin full of binders of written ideas and laptops that just like keep. There's a laptop that you would go, is this from Weird Science? Like that's still in there. Like I think the very first Apple MacBook you have in there.
Well, that might be worth some money. That could be paying for the storage fees.
I should find the photo and put it up. He has some interesting things in that storage unit.
Whatever. Don't we all?
No, I don't have a storage unit.
You don't.
I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking to you guys. You know.
But I understand now why Kyle was so like, I mean, that all sounds good and great and all, but like we have a company that's on the verge of.
But that being said, like, what better time for your wife to start a company if you might have a job if your shit goes to shit?
Well,
let her start the bikini company.
That's what I'm thinking. Either Loverboy is out of the what do you business people call it? Out of the black, into the black,
in the black,
and they've got the bandwidth now to start something else, or they're not. This
is their new exit strategy.
Yeah,
I just need to announce that I have the hiccups. I've had about 3 sips of this beer, and so it's not. I'm drunk.
You have to pound it.
Oh, will that cure it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I get the hiccups all the time and they're aggressive and they're violent. So everyone just needs to be prepared at home.
Yeah.
Oh God. And now it's triggering the
was
ear
that a real
thing.
one and it was just silent, but you just jerk?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I would kill for Mike to have the kind that you have.
Oh no, but they get loud too.
Mine are fake. My hiccups are fake.
They're not.
I have to have a hiccup, but like they are fake.
Can I do one?
What? That's not a good example. They're way louder and better.
I'll save this little snippet and then I will record your next one, do a side by side, and it's a good.
It's a dead ringer.
It's my actorial debut.
Actual hiccup, though. Like I had normal hiccups my whole life, and then one day I did this like super exaggerated, extended hiccup that was so loud.
Sorry, Poof and I have our time.
Yeah,
okay.
You have your hand here in a minute.
Break up to make up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was our makeup.
Yeah.
Make out.
In here, I did this hiccup, and you just reacted like so like ridiculous to it. It was as ridiculous as the hiccup, and then I was like, probably gonna keep doing that, and so now I just do it. And one day I remember, it's been years now. She was like, you do that at work? And I actually did once on accident in front of my boss who like almost peed his pants laughing. He thought it was the funniest thing. And then I told him the story. He's like, that's how you hiccup? Oh my God, that's so funny. And I'm like, it's actually not
actually funny.
But he thought the story was funny.
No, my dad used to do it.
Your dad? So I'm just keeping on family traditions. My bad.
No, my dad was perfect, and then he did this one thing that made me mad, and now you've picked the one thing that he did that made me mad.
Yeah, that's not cool. Oh God, I tried chugging this and I still have the hiccups, so you're lying to me.
You tried chugging it. If it's still there, then you didn't chug hard enough.
It's still there. I'm going to chug some more. No, but I did have this thought when she announced it, and sorry. And then we see the coming attractions for next week. I feel like this could really cause a problem in their relationship, the bikini line. Because,
not the baby that she doesn't want to have?
Well, it's all part and parcel. So now she's got this thing that she's really passionate about, and maybe she was losing that loving feeling for wanting to have a kid in the first place. And now she's got this new baby, which is the swim line. And I'm just wondering, do you follow what I'm saying? That
I totally do, but I think it's something like you always say, fame doesn't Fame doesn't change people. It hyper.
I always say money is just a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
So like if
Yeah,
you're a
not fame,
womanizer with a
money,
little
yeah.
bit of money, you're going to be a womanizer with a lot of money. If you're a great person with a little bit of money, you're going to be a great person with a lot of money. I also probably could say the same thing about fame.
Yeah. I mean, she's wanted to do this for a while and he did not want her to do it for a while. If she's finally doing it, sans him saying, "Oh, I think this is a great idea now, and we do have the staff and the money and the bandwidth and blah 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 to do it," then she did it anyway, and it just might be. I don't know. Listen, I had always thought like they seem like they're on the they're on the downturn, and then when she didn't want to have kids, I just. God, I really wish I was feeling these things when I was feeling really upset with Kyle, because right now I feel bad saying all this stuff, but like it looks like she's looking to make her own life.
Something in her has shifted 100%.
Yeah.
Like, and
Wait. Sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, that just threw me. Like, what? Because she wants to start her own company?
And doesn't want to have kids, and her whole vibe is
Yes,
just
her
like
whole vibe is different. Like she's not.
She's going through she's still kind of getting through this depression thing and getting her meds sorted. Like
she said that she's got that pretty sorted, feeling better than she has in a long time, and doesn't want to change that up just to.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I think the trip to Italy, the comments about the hand holding, they're like, oh. When they got there and Kyle jumps out and he's like, first one's here, which is like, what, dude? That's the dumbest thing. And she laughs so genuinely hard. I'm like, oh, that seems like the love is back. Like that's a spark laugh. You know what I mean? Like if she's still in a mood of like, I want my own life, she's not laughing at that dumb joke, but she gave a good chuckle. It's just something that stuck out to me that made me be like, oh, she's happy right now.
You know what else stuck out to me that she did that I hadn't seen her do in forever? I couldn't even tell you the last time she did this. She was very proactive about like she brought up the issue with Lexi.
Yeah.
She proactively addressed it. No Paige, no Sierra. She told us what she was thinking. She went and addressed it. And she very effectively moved the story forward. Like we now have these two, like off of what she brought up and put to attention, that caused a ripple effect in the rest of the episode after that. I haven't seen Amanda be, I think I just literally said last week when we were talking about her and you were like, I love Amanda. And I'm like, I don't not like Amanda. I just she never has a poignant stance on anything. Like
she's usually sitting in the chair while Kyle fights with somebody like this.
Yeah. Or
but
like
then after
Paige is
she
kind of
does-
leading it, but it looked very much like, is this Amanda's audition tape for Summer in the City? Like, so is she like playing along with Kyle's like first, which also Kyle yelling first at the trees, which because no one's there to. I feel like Kyle does this for many things.
Yeah.
Ripping open a brand new package of 12-roll toilet paper.
Right, but that, I feel totally. But it's also a thing that Kyle does
first.
that if
And Amanda's
Amanda
like,
was...
I know.
if Amanda was annoyed with him, she wouldn't laugh about that. Those things would just go right over her head.
No, listen, totally. And these things are like these
Not over her
are
head
so
in like an
speculative
idiot
and
way,
like, but like, or she's like, I'm a team player production.
Well,
because we're maybe spinning off, right? Like I've never felt so hardcore about like that this spinoff might happen, that like something or that they're feeling like they're
really what the show really should be is we have Summer House with the young guns.
Yeah.
And then as we get into fall in the city, that's when we go back to our old cast from Summer House and watch them get back into like the grind of work and all that stuff. Because this sounds so terrible, but like if you have the means, you don't stay in the city in the summer. It's too hot.
Oh, yeah,
you feel
yeah.
disgusting. Like anyone who's like cool or whatever,
Yeah.
you're in the south of France, you're in Italy, like you're just doing shit. You're in the Hamptons. And I also think that fall in New York City is truly like one of the most spectacular places to be.
I
So
have to
feel like,
just say the title was just like a play off of Summer House.
oh no,
Summer in the
we're really
City.
doing this, Natalie.
No, I
so
know.
we
I
need to
just
give
wanted
them
say,
the
like,
real
I
idea.
don't think that they should do Summer in the City. I just thought like if you're looking to make it super clear of what this is.
I got a different show, and it comes with a spinoff already, but we're going to get to that later.
Call your agent.
Yeah.
Well, I was super happy to see Schwartz, even though he was like a nothing burger the entire episode. I just feel like
He was the second best thing of the entire episode.
yeah, it was well, but he didn't. That's because you love him and he's your hall pass. But I just thought it was so cute for him to be like, I'm not mired under like this national pop culture story.
Yeah.
I'm not privately getting divorced. Like I am free.
Yeah.
I can do this.
I know no one talks about how we're all hard on Craig for lying about his breakup when Schwartz lied to everyone. He was like literally getting a divorce, and he was like, "Things are great, Katie. She's great. We're trying this year."
He's still trying. Like when they were talking about kids, and they'd be like, he was like, there'd be some cute kids though, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I
I think she's married another dude, guy. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
I love him so
he's
much.
the best.
You were just telling me that he was on. He got a podcast, right? Well, I mean, everyone's got one.
Yeah.
But Katie was on it?
No. He went on Katie's
Oh,
podcast.
he went on Katie's podcast.
That Disrespectfully pod, which I'm not a big fan of, but I've never been a big fan of Katie. So,
I've never listened to it.
but he went on there. Her
That's
and her friend
sweet.
did that
That's
podcast.
cute.
Yeah, that is super cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will be. This is what I'm saying. Like time heals all wounds. Even those two.
Yeah.
In 10 years, like it's just going to be like, oh, not water under the bridge, but water under the divorced bridge.
Wish those crazy kids could. Make
Oh
it
God,
work.
I don't. They are so ill suited for one another.
Okay, just not to skip past this when Kyle's telling Kyle's telling Carl like Schwartz is going to be here any second. He's coming straight from the airport, and he's like, "You ready for some Schwartz energy?" And I was like, "I'm ready for some Schwartz energy." Like I don't know what the fuck they're doing with this guy, but he's like just kind of cruising into scenes happening, like just cameo appearances.
Yes.
It's almost like they're testing him out. Like, where do we put this guy? We don't want to lose him. Everyone loves him. He's like an obvious like banger. Like
Totally.
And so they're just trying him out places. Like I feel like him and Kyle are way better friends than like Kyle and Craig ever really were. You know,
Yes,
like in
agreed.
a real like, are we actually? Can we trust each other? Are we really friends? I just love that guy so much, and I really like hope that they find something for him. Or
I feel like they're chemistry testing him on like different shows on Bravo because the network knows they can't lose him.
Yeah, they can't lose him.
He's just too likable.
He just levels up every show that he's on. Like you could put him anywhere, and like that's not nothing, you know.
Yeah, because even when he does, listen, he's had obviously some real unsavory moments. Like there were moments that I remember him and Katie, they were on a vacation somewhere. It was a cash trip, and I was like, oh, Schwartz,
He just like did not stand up for her, and
no, he was being nasty to her.
Oh,
I
remember that one
They
too.
were like, he was still in bed and she was saying something, and I totally understood where she was coming from. It's like, we have to leave. Get up. Like you're disgusting. This isn't what she's saying, but if you're a lady, you could read between the lines.
Yeah.
And he just said something so nasty to her, and I was like, oh, Schwartzy, I didn't know you had that side to you.
That's that Sandoval influence.
Oh yeah, he is.
I never am like into people because I've always been like my whole life. I've always just been like that bad influence friend, which is crazy because I know it sounds like the lady protests too much.
Mom, I didn't. You don't
But,
watch,
like,
but I didn't know that.
No, it just like I don't know. I think when you get boobs when you're in 6th grade, you're just like, who's your friend? You know, like you just like come off right away as whatever. But my mom, I think, was stricter than every parent of any friend that I ever had.
That explains why all the parents liked me. I was two backs Abbiati for a very long, till about 2 years ago. So. Actually, this is kind of funny. When I was little, you know, you have classes where it's like you invite everyone to the birthday party. And this one mom was like, they invited every girl to this sleepover at this girl whose class I was in at her house, except me.
The whole class,
All the
except
girls,
you.
except me. And
I will kill her.
well, she died of cancer a while ago. So
R.I.P.
So my mom was like, wait a minute, like Corky. And of course I live in the family that's like, what did you do to little Jennifer? I'm like, nothing. I don't know what you're talking. I'm afraid of confrontation. Have you not learned that? And my sister knew I didn't do anything. And so she's like, let me call the mom. I'll figure this out. And so my mom's like, I'll do it. You're not calling Mrs. So-and-so. So my mom calls up the other mom and she's like, I just quite frankly heard your daughter was a troublemaker. And my mom is like, with all due respect, you have to be thinking of someone else. Like, this is not my daughter. And it turns out it was like someone else in like another class or another grade or whatever. And so I went to the birthday party and this mom became like my biggest fan. She was like, she, like, apologized to me. She's like, I don't know what I was thinking. You're the nicest one of all my kids' friends. I'm like, I know this happens to me all the time.
You have to murder someone to not get invited. Like for me to understand how you exclude one child out of an entire class. Like, that kid would have literally had to come for my kid so hard. Oh, God.
Yeah. Anyway.
Jerks.
So I was happy to see Schwartz, and I was also very happy to see another knit top, Natalie.
Who had one this time?
Jessie at the dinner. It's just a trend that's not going to die.
You know what?
Wait,
I don't even notice them
Yeah.
with Jesse anymore because I feel like he wears them every week. He's got some just very some fabric that is like it's for your dad. You know,
Can I ask
I don't mind them.
I'm gonna ask this question, and everyone's gonna shit on me, and then somebody's gonna be like, "That dude's gay," whatever. Not, but it's fine.
well, when you talk about male on male blowjobs and
Dude, that was one time.
Honestly,
2
I can't
times.
believe.
couple times.
A couple times. Listen, Linda's. Did you think? I don't know if it's a lie, but like West at that dinner looked like 1,000 times more handsome than he's ever looked in his life. Yes or no? No. That's all I kept thinking was like, dang, he looks really good right now.
I've said what I have to say about West for the most part. Like, I don't know, I might, you know, if it comes to me, I'll say it. But like, I really am not trying to hate on him. I don't know if I would ever go, West is looking sharp.
I thought he was looking sharp at that dinner.
I'm with her.
What was he doing that made, like, unless he was in a tuxedo?
No.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Listen, West has been laying. By the way, your thing did work because my hiccups are gone.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
See, you're not a bad
I'm
influence.
like, Kristen, if I tell you something, believe me. I feel so validated right now.
Because West has been laying low and throwing in some of his great jokes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm forgetting my anger towards him. No, listen, he makes one quick move in the wrong direction. I'm back on that fucking hate train, West. So you watch your bippity buppus, okay? Your bup kiss. What is that thing? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Point is, I didn't look at him and think like Annie Herman, boy, oing.
No, God, no.
I didn't think that. I just.
What I did think though was that is you said it last week. Like, I don't want to say the E word. We were talking about the Valley. And when Mike says the E word, he means Emmy. And I think there needs to be an Emmy for whoever's doing the sound on, or like the music on Summer House. Because when Carl goes, I mean, I'm pretty into tan lines. And the music was like,
I've been searching 10 line porn, but also the edit. Let's give some praise to the edit right before where he's like looking at everybody, like they clock Carl looking. He's like, "Can I say? Is this cool? Am I in a safe space right now? Like, are these guys? I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go. I think I'll be fine. I'm doing it. I do like tan line stuff, and everybody's just what? And they all try to be so nice because they're like. It takes them a second, but they're like, no, Carl's going through some shit right now. Be cool. Yeah, dude, no, that's pretty, but they all just wanted to be like, the fuck, bro? Tan line, what?
Listen, I
porn?
think a tan line is sex. In Carl's defense, a tan line is sexy, okay? But like, I also don't watch porn.
You guys
but like, am I looking for tan line porn?
It's nostalgic. When Carl was probably first getting his boners, that was before we were told that like hanging out in the sun all day isn't that cool. Like maybe bypass the old tanning bed, you know? Like Carl was from a time, like, have you ever seen Police Academy? Watch Police Academy, the first one. and you'll see so many 80s and 90s boobs in there. It was just, there was an era of time when people were string bikinis and had just like bright white boobs and like camel skin. Like just, I mean, it was a thing. I think it just brings him back to a better time for Carl, and Carl does that often. That was very, I thought all of their porn preferences kind of said something about them.
What were the other ones?
Jesse did massage porn.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Jesse
And
just
Wes
wants to be
just has
tended to.
Wes has done all the porns.
Yeah, Jesse just wants to be tended to, wants to be serviced.
Well,
He's
no, how do you
also
know
got-
that he doesn't want to be the masseuse taking
I don't think he does. I
advantage?
think just watching him lay on that bed in that stupid Hugh Hefner outfit, I'm thinking this guy likes to get touched. And I think also, I was also surprised he didn't say like, oh, stepmom porn or whatever, just because he treats all the girls like, she's like my sister, but I'd bang her for sure. Yeah. And then Wes just grew up. He's from a generation that like, he probably had a phone in junior high, and porn is all kinds of porn has just been readily available to him. And so now he's like deep diving, trying to find like what else is out there.
What
like,
else is going to give
what
me
else is weird? I
little
need
crack
weirder.
pipe
Yeah.
hit.
Yeah. Just like looking for like the next weird thing. Godspeed, weirdo. Like that's going to be a lifelong, never ending hunt for something that is going to,
I really, and this is a conversation for another episode that isn't Showmance, but I really think porn does us a real great disservice. Look at West.
That's what
West
I'm
is
saying.
now searching for like a woman having sex with farm animals.
Yeah, I
because
think so,
that's how
too.
dead he is for the dopamine hit. And then there's sweet old Carl, who's just give me a tan line and
That's
I'll
all Police
spooge
Academy.
all over you. I'll take. Actually, that makes me like Carl more, even though I do like Carl way more than
Everything,
West.
I swear to God, I am so, until I'm not, I am so done with talking about anything negative about Carl. He is the mensch of this entire operation. It really is the sweetest. Like when Amanda walks in and he was just like, you look beautiful. Like he's just so sweet. And I'm finished with analyzing his choices and just being like, whatever you want, Carl, I'm here. You're going to talk to Sierra next week. It's going to buy you another 3 months for us to not question your sexuality. And we'll be back at it after that. But you have bought yourself some time.
So the girls all stay home to set up the party for the
best
next
party
day,
ever, yeah.
which I'm so shocked and so pleased and want
But you
this.
know, that party was so different than any party they've ever had. And I think it's because it's like Paige's vision. So like, of course it was going to be better than everyone's.
and
but, like,
Amanda and Sierra,
Yeah,
I do
doubt
think they all.
That wasn't Paige's vision. That was Paige's, I have to come up with an idea. Well, I'd really like to just stay in bed or like bring my
No,
bed
Paige
out. Like
has
I've
some
been
done
trying
taste.
I'm
to
also
do
done
that.
know.
slamming Paige. Let's respect Paige for all she brings, and I think that was her idea.
Oh,
and
we're gonna
No,
get
I think
into
it
the
was
Paige
her
respect
idea.
at the end of this
I
episode.
think it was Amanda's vision only because, and listen, I don't know if I get that Amanda is a graphic designer at Loverboy, and she went to school for that, whatever. But like, it just like when she was setting up the thing and they put graphic designer under her name, that's when I was like, oh yeah, this is all from it just gave me
No,
the idea that it was from her.
I
head.
just don't agree with that because Paige is her style is so
You're talking about
on point.
outfits.
Hold on. And I think that flows into everything that she does. Like anytime you see her apartments, she decorates them so well. She has a real aesthetic that I think is not just about like cute hair accessories and outfits and shoes.
Yeah.
I really even like the way
listen,
that she'll
she
take a
did
picture of her
Craig's-
cat and post it. I'm like, you got a good eye, girl.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. And if she said she did Craig's
Stop the
backyard-
presses. Mike
And
always
he's
fights
not
with
a nice
me.
guy.
Yeah, he's not a nice guy and he hates women and he just agreed with one and he was nice to me. End of ep. Like and subscribe. Give me another beer.
I don't know, man.
What?
I don't think this thing was a Paige vision because all of those things you just said, I'm now being like, oh yeah. this is not. None of those are the same as Paige's fashion sense.
What?
Her like her.
I'm like, you're talking about a graphic designer being good at this stuff? That,
Wait a minute.
That's totally different things.
Hold your horses. The whole theme felt like Valley of the Dolls, which is Paige's aesthetic. The bows in the hair, the 1960s like Mad Men look.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I don't care who came up with it. It was the dumbest fucking thing ever.
What?
It wasn't
You
dumb.
hated
It just was lazy. It was a lazy fuck. You brought your bed out. That's your party idea. Let's just bring beds out and like what?
There was a whole club in New York City that was named Bed, where they just had beds.
What?
This was like a whole club in New York City at one point called
Jesus
Bed,
Christ.
and there were just beds everywhere.
That's disgusting.
There was one
for
here
starters.
too.
No, it was great.
That was like Egyptian
That's
kind of,
disgusting.
or
Like, how is that
Arabian
not
Nights.
disgusting?
I don't know.
You've been there? You went to that club Bed?
Yeah, and you sit on the bed in your clothes. How is it? You're not.
It was on Sex in the
Okay.
City. Carrie went. She was on the
Nobody's
list.
sitting on beds in the club.
She
in
got
New York.
broken up on a post-it. That
Yeah, that's
episode.
right.
Here's how I know that this party was bullshit and should be called the lazy party, because they built a gigantic dance floor. Nobody danced.
The remainder of the parties next
Well,
weekend. Fingers crossed for some boogie
see.
downs.
We'll see.
Well, I personally love the
Yeah, I
theme.
love the outfits. I even loved when what's her name was brushing her.
I did.
Yeah,
Was like comb
Lexi was
fluffing,
comb- yeah.
with her hairbrush. I don't know. That was like the weirdest outfit out of all of them. Like all of them had like really good dialed in outfits, and I didn't know what hers was. And then I was like, when she just started brushing it, I was like, okay.
But
I'm
then
in.
she put the skirt on over the.
Lexi did. I don't even remember what happened after
I
that.
will say I have a note that Paige's outfit, like I now have a new. Sierra's always been, and those outfits, those costumes were so good that they were
Yeah.
probably Sierra's idea. But if they weren't, like I have 100%. Like Paige now has the winning costume.
They got those made. They had
Oh,
to
they
have.
1000% did, and that
But
after
just to be
show.
able, when she was like, and if you want to just disappear, like when she was like talking about if you
Yeah.
don't like the party, you want to disappear, you just squat down and put. I was
Yeah.
like,
And they made
Hell yeah.
eye masks into tops.
Yes.
I think they kind of weren't on the same page of what their outfit was, though.
Who cares though? It was
No, I
so
don't care.
good.
But
Oh, okay.
like Paige came out there, she's like, "Oh, we're bedspreads," and Amanda was like, "No, we're eye masks. We're sleeping." I'm like, "Okay."
Well,
what
there
are
were
you
eye
doing?
masks on top, bedspreads on the bottom, and yeah, everybody
cute
likes
bows
to
on
disappear.
top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And even when they went out, I was like, "Oh, this is a lot to wear. It's gonna be a lot to carry around all night." But then they did that photo shoot,
Yeah, and just whoosh,
and just
with the
had
cute
on like little
underwear.
bloomers, and like, I
It
don't
was
know,
so
man.
good.
Listen, I hate theme parties, so the fact that I was like, hello, like I just thought it was adorable, and like
Samesies.
one of their most well done parties, and
Same.
you know.
I think I'm probably just been on the annoyed train with both of those two. Not so much Paige, more Sierra, but so I think that had a lot to do with it. I was just like, of course you come up with a party where you're sitting in bed. That's all you guys ever do on this show is sit in bed.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Well, when they were preparing to sit in bed, when the girls are all at home, I do like how you said Amanda brought up. She didn't bring it up then, but she had the
Yeah.
idea at that, like when they were making the dream catchers and all that
Yeah.
stuff. She's putting it all together. Where my friend might be getting hosed a little
Yeah.
bit here, and not to jump ahead, but I am really glad that she ended up bringing it up, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And then obviously, like the guys come home from their, what's your porn preference dinner.
Yeah.
Everyone was fairly
something at that
tame.
dinner. One last thing at
Oh,
that
yeah.
dinner that I was just going to say about Kyle that I never got to. At that dinner, when Jesse starts to talk about like, oh, so, Sierra's giving me the cold or whatever it was. He was like telling the story about Sierra, but it was just very surface or whatever. And Kyle goes, can you offer some more context? Like it was so like TV veteran. Like I've been on the show for 9 years. They're going to need more than that.
Yeah.
They're going to need more stuff. So let's give them some more stuff, because the more stuff you give them, the less stuff I have to give them, because the more stuff I give, the less Amanda wants to do stuff with me and make babies. So who says like, can you add some context?
What did he say though?
A
What?
pro, Natalie. That's who.
Yeah, exactly. What did he say? I can't remember the exact words. It was just like, it was just enough where like he wasn't going to let Jesse skate on it. He was like, say more. Do you think it might be because of how you approached it, or like he just kind of kept on like?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that Kyle is working for the weekend.
Kyle,
Thank God.
Kyle and
Yeah.
Amanda are producing. They're
Yeah.
doing their producer credits. I
Yeah.
could say this statement that I'm about to say 15 or 16 times throughout this recap. If you still have to explain something 5 weeks later, you did something wrong.
Yes.
Wait, what happened?
It's just Jesse, dude. Like this guy is just still explaining the toe. Oh, but there's still explaining the texting, still explaining so many things. And like if you're 5 weeks later, if you're still explaining your behavior, that was bad behavior.
100%.
And like he hasn't, like that thing just not clicking with him to be like, wait a second, okay, everyone thinks this was bad except me. Maybe I should.
No, you're so right. And the reason it's not clicking for him is because he's just not there yet, maturity wise. Like because really the next big thing that happens is it's the party and everything started and, Paige gets there. Yay. Everyone's got their cute outfits on, whatever.
Yeah.
But we get into the Jesse and Lexi of it all. And thank God Amanda brought it up. Thank God she told her, hey, he did say X, Y, and Z. And I thought she had such a solid, clear answer. And she wasn't all ruffled up. She didn't get herself in a tizzy about what Amanda was saying. She's like, do you understand? I get DMs all day long. So people are telling me things. I'm not searching for them, but someone is DMing me saying, hey, this person, like your boyfriend or whatever just followed me, or hey, Foof, thank you. Like a gentleman.
Oh, just show a little butthole.
Yeah, just say that. Wow, he's got a clean butthole.
Minnie's like, thank you.
Spent all day grooming that butthole. But like she's so clear and direct with all of her answers that I just believe her.
Dude,
I know
me
that
too.
everything she said is the truth.
Yeah.
And therefore, when we go over to her talking to Jesse, it's why I say it like harkens back to what you're saying. He's just not mature enough to be in a relationship because every time he brings something up, there's 18 different versions of his story and there's never 18 different versions of the story. It's what happened, bro. But because you're telling one thing to one person, one thing to somebody else. Oh, the reason I didn't say anything about someone sucking my toe to Lexi is because I just thought it was a big old nothing burger.
Yeah.
Cue toothy grin. No, you didn't, dude. You just didn't want to get in trouble. You literally said after that, well, now I'm hard.
Yeah.
So that's not a big deal. And then he's in the car with basically the entire cast saying, I'm just worried she's a little jealous and she's doing all this stuff that's like, oh, making me meet her parents, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, this girl has like a massive career. You're calling her and texting her every 5 seconds. And he did it during this episode, and good on the editors that they kept it in when someone, I think if it was Lexi or one of the other girls, like, oh, what do you think the boys are doing? And she's like, Jesse already texted me.
Yeah.
Or Jesse just texted me some drunken text, because he's always up her ass. Yet you're making her look like she's the super infatuated one that's jealous, that needs to have it a certain way. And it's like,
well, she said that with Amanda. She was like, I was doing something the other day and he's just fucking blowing me up. And she's like, yo, dude, I think I need
to live my life.
My life. Like I need to live like.
But what he's not smart enough to realize is, bro, girls will always compare notes. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So like, this is what I say to all guys. You want to know what girls, because guys are like, what do girls talk about? If you have a freckle on your schlong, every girls talk about it. Everyone's going to know about it. Not yours, Mark.
Oh, yeah. I told them about that freckle a decade ago. They're not going to remember.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, we talk about minutia.
Yeah.
We beat a dead horse on a level that it's not even like a man couldn't even understand
proud
it.
Of this. No one's proud of this.
It's in our DNA. This is how we have
Yeah.
evolved over, you know, millennia. So I'm just saying, like, Jesse's too immature or
he's
not
the
with it enough to
worst.
realize, like,
Listen,
we're going to compare notes. We're going to figure out what your
Yeah.
game is that you're running. And he doesn't even think he's running game. He thinks that no, I told you what's going on. You're like, you told me a completely different story
Yeah.
than what went on.
Yeah.
I don't think he's running game.
That's what I said. He doesn't think he's running game.
Right. No, I don't think he is. I'm assuming you're saying he doesn't think he's running game, but he is running game.
He's running like some version. I get what you're saying.
I don't think he's running game. Like I don't think unless like I guess technically that's Jesse's game, but Jesse's game is flirty. Like it's funny that again, like Jesse might be a little bit of a what do you call it when you when you're that person, but you say like, oh, you do this all
A
the
projector.
Yeah, like but there's I think there's a name for it.
Gaslighter?
Wait, who's our Psych 101 major?
Joanne Greco.
Joanne. All right, Joanne, let us know. Now, like when you project, like there's like a term for that kind of person, I think. But anyways, seems like we're finding out he might be that guy, because he in the beginning when he like what was the first thing he asked Lexi? Oh, do you think you're kind of ditzy? Well, he's ditzy. He's flirty. He's probably a little jealous. So like is Jesse not mature enough for a relationship? I don't know. Maybe, but I think that's a hard thing to say in this episode because that's like saying you just watched Michael Jordan play basketball with like me. And then you're like, I don't think Mike's ready for basketball. I can play basketball, not against Michael Jordan though. Like shit, I can still go to the YMCA though, and like
Dude, pretty popular guy at the
I got it. So if there's a
Especially after
child that wants to date Jesse,
well,
I
no,
guess
but like there's party girls. Like he definitely should be more mature. He's definitely not.
he's in his 30s.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he's not. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just kind of making a funny point of like, don't be so hard on the guy. He just got his ass kicked by Michael Jordan.
But here's the problem.
Oh,
She
yeah.
swept the floor with him.
Yeah.
And
we all
never
underestimated
seen
her. Like not
anything
so
that.
much you, but
I
like
even did, and I didn't underestimate it. And I was
That's
like,
I agree with that too because it
holy
was like we
shit.
tracked her getting like, oh, that's actually wise beyond her years. Oh, that's actually
Dude,
smart.
this
That's really calm. She
girl
handled that kind of
is
perfectly. But I always just thought she
insane.
looked like she's 16 years old, and so I would just always put her in this like, just stay away, don't touch her, just like put her in a little glass thing and
she's
let her,
next level.
pose and like and just don't touch her. Don't even get your fingerprints on the glass bubble that's around her.
I mean, still don't do that
Yeah.
because she's a fucking treasure.
Yeah,
and you don't
totally.
deserve to
Yeah.
touch her or
Yeah.
talk to her or get any piece of advice from her because you won't even
not gonna get it.
You're not
Yeah.
gonna get it.
Yeah.
Just go away. To go away.
Yeah.
Like dads are always like, I'm gonna have a son. He needs to play football in the NFL. Whatever. Like cheesy American dream. Her dad. He's like, no, I got my
Michael
Tom
Jordan.
Brady. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got my. They're like, oh, do you ever wish you had a son? He's like, I got one. Look at her out there kicking all these
She's
dudes'
killing
asses.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She is next level. That chick.
Yeah.
It's insane. She blew me away.
Yes, agreed.
She made everyone look stupid on that show.
I don't know about that.
I mean, who else did?
I just that's how good she
Oh,
was.
because she is, she doesn't fight like Sierra. She doesn't fight like Amanda.
when
Like,
they
I mean,
sat
Amanda doesn't
down-
fight at all anymore, but like,
When they sat down and he first laid down with his glasses on, and she took those glasses off his face. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I was like, yes, ma'am. What the hell? Like, and just boom, boom, boom. She tore that.
yes.
It was a masterpiece. And then I'll
He's
talk
so
about
gross.
my new show and the spinoff real quick, and then we can
Please.
keep going.
Before you do it, can you hand me a beer?
Yeah. The new show is called Lexi's Boot Camp. And it's
LBC? The
yeah.
LBC!
LBC, Lexi's Boot Camp.
It's certainly not Lexi's boob camp.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
I like her.
unfortunately.
Itty bitty titty committee. That's me.
But it's for fuck boys and dudes who don't understand how to date and like how to act. You go to Lexi's Boot Camp and she's gonna get you in shape. And then the spin-off is for the ladies. She's gonna teach you how to deal with a
How to lady?
dumbass dude and how to be like, that's not how
How
you
to
do it.
fire your team
Yeah.
and employ your
How
family.
to be a badass. Maybe Paige will come in and do some like, what do you call them? Like side classes or whatever. They can tag
Yeah.
team.
I feel like she's earning Paige's respect a little
Bro.
bit. inch
If
by
she's
inch.
not,
Like
then
I
Paige is
also
fake.
honestly feel like everyone who's like, Paige isn't a girl's girl, and she should have said so. I feel like Paige has been forthright with her. She said it a few episodes ago where she was just like, if you're not really, like, just so you know, last weekend, this is how he's acting, whatever. She also is friends with Jessie. Being a girl's girl doesn't mean that you give every girl who's walking down the street your vote for president or your kidney if she needs one. There is still like, let me get to know you. Let me, just because you have a uterus doesn't mean you're going to be an amazing person. Okay. But she gets to know her and she respects her. I think she is like, yeah, you're a cool chick. Like, let's get down. Let's be friends. And I thought this episode, she did say to her, she gave her great advice that I think Lexi not only knew, I think she was listening to her thinking, okay, I knew this, but now someone I respect is saying this.
Exactly.
So I got to make them.
Yeah, that's an interesting,
move.
those two could have like an interesting dynamic.
Totally.
And I think it would probably piss off other people in the house because I think everybody loves Paige so much they like kind of cling to her and they don't want her like finding new friends, you know? But like Paige is also just sort of like an explorer. She's an adventurer, you know? She's
and I
like,
also think she thinks people are interesting. Like,
yeah.
And so she wants to talk to them and be like, what's making you tick? Little, what do you call her? Dumpling?
Little baby dumpling face.
Yeah, little baby dumpling face.
Yeah, she's always be that.
Yeah,
Well,
always.
Well, God willing.
So Amanda came to bat and she knocked it out of the park, let her know what was going on. She completely made Jesse look, and one could argue this isn't that hard to do, currently made him look like such a dum-dum because he's just not getting it. And this is the thing. He's 30 years old. He's not 22. He's not like a young guy that couldn't be ready to be in a mature relationship. It's fine that he's not. I'm not saying every 30-year-old person on planet Earth needs to be mature enough to be in a relationship. But he has made it seem like what she's asking for is banana cakes. Like, that's a lot. And she's like, I'm not asking you to not hype up your girls on social media. I'm just saying, don't say, you're so hot, I want to put it in you.
Yeah.
Little weird if we're dating, which, by the way, I get.
No, I totally do.
And the fact that he just can't own up to the fact that, like, oh yeah, if I like you that much as I say I do, when I'm telling you every night when I'm slosh, like, I love you, I should be able to just hype up my girls by saying, like, you look amazing. Go get them, kiddo, or whatever.
For him to be so sort of affected all episode about, like, I think Sarah's mad at me. And then and I get, we're on a show, so I'm happy to hear this, but like, if this is how this dude acts in real life, and I have a feeling that it is, where he just like nothing is internalized, nothing is dealt with on his own. He's bopping to each room to tell anybody who will listen that someone's not being cool with him, or someone seems to think he did something wrong and doesn't know what it is, or she seems real pissed at me. Like, just going around telling everybody that about Sierra, and then coming to realize that that Lexi's upset with him. And then the way he goes and tells Wes that, what's she mad about? She doesn't want to talk about it. She says she would like to talk about it later. Yeah. Like, there's two, like, I don't want to talk. Like, there's that girl that's always pissy, and it's like, what's wrong? Nothing. You know, like, there's that, or can we talk about it later? Like, I'm sleeping right now, but also I got to go outside and help the girls. We have all this shit to do. I'm also just kind of processing it.
She was probably honestly sending work emails. She's such a hard worker.
Yeah, totally. So for him to do all that, and then by the time that he is finally able to talk to her, he just gets in bed and lays down. He's wearing a stupid Hugh Hefner. He thought he was killing the game in that outfit. Yeah. Like that was like, he's like, I'm gonna wear Hugh. Like, he thinks that he is that in some respects. Like, he's that guy. I feel like he's like he just like walks around with this this vibe that's like, the Hamptons ain't ready for me. like him and Wes like lick up their fame from the bar floor every day. Like, and Wes is a little less, just because Wes is just.
I don't think
got
Wes
a better
is.
sense of humor about. Well, no, it annoyed me when he was like, this is what it's like to come home at 3 a.m. with the boys, with like the summer house kitchen. You know, he's like, last Sunday, he was like, next weekend, I'm going to make this video.
And he knows he has to give it to producers. It reminds me of the Brianna, whatever, chicken fry thing, where it's like, dude, you gave the video or you told TMZ it was you. Like, he is so loving getting high on his own supply. So I think they're
Exactly.
both
No,
licking their
they're-
fame up from the bar floor.
Yeah.
If I may.
I just keep thinking every place that Jesse walks into, I feel like he's thinking that like, you only ready for me. And it's like, no, the Hampton stays ready. They got a fucking stockpile of bleach and hazmat suits for the second you leave here. Like you're just like every other overprivileged 30-year-old who comes through here and gets wasted.
Madonna
and all they're
lives
doing
here.
is like crossing their fingers that like you wait until your Uber door shuts before you barf everywhere. You know, like he's just a dime a dozen. This kid is nothing special. He's a nice singer sometimes. I like one song. Anyway, but once Alexi does finally agree to talk to him, if you care so much, as you've been telling everyone, you really want to talk to her. She's mad at you. You can't believe it. I don't know what I did wrong. I'm in troubies. He's always in troubies or going to be a good boy. Like
That's what I'm
he
saying,
takes this like childlike like I'm just a kid running around. Oh, wipe my butt. Like it's. Ugh. So then he gets in bed and lays down, kicks his feet back, puts his hands behind his thing, and then I didn't even remember that she took his glasses off.
Yeah.
So what's
I
been
didn't
bothering
see that.
And
you?
grabbed
little-
him like, and not like she grabbed him like you f***ing disrespectful piece
Yeah.
of shit. Take these glasses off.
I love that.
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't pick up on that because I was like,
Which is amazing.
I was like trying to clock because all of his lines, everything he would say in response to her was just so. It was like when at kickball when he just looked like I can't even believe I have to deal with this right now.
Yeah.
But this was even worse because he
was.
kept saying like, well, I can't believe they said that. Well, I will have a talk with them. And she's like, bitch, they're telling me what you're doing.
Yeah.
Why
I can't
don't
help
you
what they
say,
said.
I'm sorry, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah.
Not, I can't believe my friends ratted me out.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't like, dude, I'm
What-
so bummed. Like,
I know you are. I know you
dude,
are.
Aw,
I
it's
wasn't-
You were so
okay,
here for the
guys.
bromance, and
was
it just turned into
and
a
I'll
shit
have
show.
a note when they're in the kitchen later, and like Wes goes to check on him. I'm like, oh, I fucking still like as a dude. I'm like, oh, these are my bro. Like my dude's sad and he's f***ing up, and like I understand Wes going and being like, dude, you're kind of being in it. Like what? Because now West is in. On
Even
the, like,
West is like,
Yeah.
you're fucking it up.
Yeah.
If West is saying you're messing things
Yeah.
up,
I'll tell you, when I watched the first one and he was like talking about him in the car where he was like, dude, they were on the phone and he's like, I'll call you in a bit. And he was like, bitch, we're going to be at the house in an hour.
Yeah.
When I watched it the first time, I thought he was talking about Lexi. And then the second time I watched it, I was like, oh, you're talking about your boy.
Yeah.
and then he even said, "Oh, I didn't know he was that guy."
I think Amanda or Paige
No,
said
Paige
that.
said it, and then
Yeah.
he was like, "I didn't
No,
either."
he says no. He is a pretty jealous guy. I love that it took Wes 2 seconds with Amanda to crack and become like he's not like the wingman that Jesse
No.
probably.
No, I think he
believes in.
is. I think they're a different. I think they're. I think
No, I can see
they're
what you're
just
saying.
different friends. Like
Yeah,
they're,
yeah, yeah.
they're
No,
like,
you're right.
Yeah,
They're older. I mean, I'm sorry, younger.
Younger,
So
yeah.
they but like they're just from a generation that's like
You can
more about like
being honest and like telling you
honest
stuff.
support as
Yeah,
opposed to like
totally.
whatever, bro, fuck her.
Totally.
You know,
Which is I'm so here
I
for.
appreciate it.
Love it. Yeah. So like at the end, I noticed it, but I was like, dude, you're making me so mad, but also like,
Yeah.
let's go play golf.
So he says to her, I can't help what my dumb friends say. They just said what you said. Like they just told me what you said. Or this relationship just feels like it's going so fast and and she doesn't even let him finish. She goes, let's slow down then. Like everything was so like, and it wasn't in a bitchy way. Like,
No.
well, then I guess we can slow
Dude,
down. It was just like,
it was perfect.
oh, you hear, that's your problem? Here's the
There's a
solution to that.
solution. Yeah.
What I think was so obnoxious, but I loved it. Like, I feel like he was more pissed that like, he was like, he planned this outfit 2 weeks ago. He was supposed to have a great time at this party.
I thought we were going to be boyfriend, girlfriend after this
Yeah.
weekend.
Face when,
Yeah.
when he says that, I honestly thought we were leaving this weekend, boyfriend and girlfriend. She was like, the fuck? You
Yeah.
thought that? You're dumber than I ever imagined.
Not the dumber thing is that he thought he was doing her. I was going to give it all to you, baby. I would sue.
Oh, Jesse.
Here's the fun part. One day, Jesse's going to have this to look back, and it's going to be like the cringiest thing, but like hilarious. Because I believe that Jesse will grow out of this. He will grow up.
I
We've
agree.
talked about how he like, and this got cut out of a different episode because it's just me rambling on forever, and I'm like, I can't even splice through this. You're just talking in circles. but we talked about how he went to like jazz school or whatever, and he was like
theater school. Natalie, he was a vocal major.
Like musical. Oh, okay. Well, whatever. I thought, but he was like,
no, I'm just busting
did someone
balls,
say that he was like a jazz major or something?
Yes, I think like his concentration was jazz singing.
Okay. This was just like either in a TikTok or maybe in the comments of somebody like that knew just his backstory and was just like, he was super awkward. And then also with the health stuff. Like, so I understand that his growth could be delayed by maybe like up to a decade. Like it could be just that like he was very focused on, these two things. And then now he's like finally putting his music to work and not worried that he's going to die or lose his dong, and live to dong another day.
But also like there needs to be a term for it, and there might be, but it's like when nerdy kids, like when I'm so old that nerdy kids never stopped being like, when the nerdy kids from my generation are still nerds.
Yeah.
The nerdy kids from his generation are fucking billionaires.
And
like,
everything and sought after.
Yeah.
And like the catch.
So, and if you're a band geek, and like we saw pictures, we talked about this before, that like Jesse might have been a little, not so like, not 6'6" or whatever, and like ripped or what. Like he might have had a tough time growing up. Yeah. Maybe got picked on. Was a theater kid.
How long did it take for him to grow into
picked on.
What if his teeth were always that big, but he wasn't?
Totally. Like so, but then one day, it's like Matt Rife, and I don't know if it's real, but Matt Rife, the comedian, talks about like, yo, this shit, I didn't always look like this. Like it's just, I woke up one day and all of a sudden, this is what I look like. Like I was a nerd forever. So it's hard. It's got to be. I don't know. I wasn't a nerd. I'm kidding. But it's got to be hard to be like a nerdy kid your whole life and then pop off one day and be on a reality show or sell a company for $1 billion. And now you got to be the cool kid. Like that's a hard. I couldn't go be a nerd right now. That'd be tough transition.
It is interesting. So hard for you.
I get it.
Yeah, totally.
It is interesting to think though, like some people get, God forbid, you get diagnosed with cancer, awful.
Yeah.
He makes it through not once but twice,
and he's a kid at the time, like he's basically
like mid-20s or something, right?
Yeah.
But like for some people, and I'm not saying he should have handled it any differently. I'm just saying it is interesting to think that happens to some people, and they are like, I am getting so serious about life, like I am gonna, I know it matters and I'm gonna live this kind of existence. And then other people are like, I'm living every day like it's my last and this is what matters. And it's just funny how not funny, but just truly interesting how it can hit someone different.
Yeah.
And clearly Jesse was just like, I escaped death twice, YOLO.
Yeah.
Give me my hef.
Give me my
knock off my robe.
Right.
And let's do this.
So like that's what I'm like. I go back to like, he might not be mature enough for a relationship. I don't know if that's 100% true, but what he's not mature enough for a relationship with Lexi.
Yeah, that's that's the thing.
How about this?
He's not honest,
ready or mature enough for a healthy relationship.
Maybe.
So the other thing that I think that he was bummed about, and I felt like I could just like see word bubbles like coming out of his head like during this thing, and I think obviously
and they all said.
Yeah.
What?
Well, one is like this. My robe's getting wrinkled right now. I've been laying here for too long. I think he had a moment where he's realizing everyone is talking. Who did I tell what to again? Oh God! Like cameras are on me. How long has this been going? How long have these conversations been going on? Like I don't like. It would be weird for anyone to get confronted with something while they're on a show and there's like 4 fucking cameras around you at all and the lights on and like this party's happening around you. I imagine the world kind of stopping for a minute.
Oh God,
and
you're
like,
trying to like do all the mental math.
Of like, what have I said? What have I done? What have I lied about?
It's that moment in Friends where Ross cheats on Rachel and they're like, did you do the trail? What are you talking about? And they're like, you slept with the girl at the copy place. The girl at the copy place lives with this guy. This guy works with that guy who's this person's roommate who lives with Gunther. That's the trail. He's like in real time doing trail back to Lexi. But none of this matters because he's such a ding dong that he's sitting here saying, they're taking this out of context. And it's like, no, they're not.
You're going to see the context that we've put it in real soon.
Yeah, like you're on tape. This isn't candid camera.
Yeah.
You're mic'd.
Yeah.
So for him to sit here, like his two excuses were they're taking this out of context and I'm so upset that they told you this. Or like, what do you want me to act like a robot? No.
Yeah.
Just don't get a toe job by some rando that Imrule's about to have a threesome with, and stop running your mouth to everyone. If you have a question about why or how I know that all of these chicks were followed by you or unfollowed by you or whatever it is, ask me.
Yeah.
Just ask me.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, have I proved to be someone who doesn't want to talk about things?
Yeah.
Clearly not, because I'm taking your ass to fucking
Yeah.
town right now in this argument. It's not even an argument.
It wasn't.
Because you can't defend yourself.
It was Michael Jordan playing basketball with me. It was horrible. It was embarrassing. And I love it when they cut to West and he's like, is Jesse getting his ass grilled
Cooked
right
or
now?
something.
Cooked, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Jesse does,
yeah,
or
your
not
boy
Jesse.
is
Wes
getting
always has like
smoked.
those kinds of lines like, bro, is
Yeah.
Jesse getting cooked right now? Like just things that
'Cause
like,
he's a jock.
I
It's 'cause
no,
it's-
totally. When he goes inside, when Jesse goes inside and Wes like sees him, I love like Wes like runs after him and like goes in to like get the skinny on like what just went
Wes
down.
loves the tea.
No,
that's
totally.
why I loved Wes last
I
season, because he loved to
know.
like hang with the girls and
I know.
gossip a little bit, and then he had to go be a
I know.
jerk face loser.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway,
But so when he goes in there and asks Jesse what happened, Jesse's like, I thought we were going to leave here boyfriend girlfriend, and Wes is like, and you're not. And like in that moment, Wes is fighting everything within himself to not run outside,
Yes!
pull out the speaker like cord and be like, dibs. Like Jesse says something about like, I'm just starting to question the foundation of our relationship. And Wes goes, the foundation?
he literally laughed.
You met
know.
a month
He
ago.
guffawed, I think.
Yeah.
If-
You met 4 weeks ago. It's just been a really hard few weeks. And it's like, so you had one good week then? Do you remember when I said in the very first recap, I'm like, I feel like this is going to be the week that Lexi is looking back at and going, remember that one? We had that such a great time, like trying to get back to that first week. It's Jesse that's doing that. Like, remember that first week was
Remember
so
I
great.
said Jesse is like that Britney Spears song, like not a girl, yet not yet a woman.
Yeah.
That's Jesse. Like he's not a boy, but not yet a man. Because you can see like that sweet, nerdy kid still lives inside of him, which by the way is the best part about Jesse.
Yeah.
So I hope that always stays. Because that's the thing that makes him funny and quirky and interesting and like endearing.
He just got ahead of himself.
Yes. And so it's like when he's sitting there telling West, I'm really starting to question our foundation. That's the nerdy part of him being like, I went to theater camp. I met Rebecca. Rebecca is the love of my life. We're going to be FaceTiming every day. Like getting so serious about these things because he feels things so intensely because he is, a musical theater jazz kid, whatever it is. And he's not this cool, like just, quarterback of the football team, hooking up with a different girl every weekend. So he has that. And then all of a sudden the other thing comes in where it's like, wait a minute. I'm 6'4", I'm kind of famous, and I'm on this TV show, Suck My Toe.
Yeah, people are messaging me.
Right.
People
So-
are coming up to me. They want my photo. That girl made out with me. Like, I slept with that one girl. That first night I met her. Like, these things have not happened to this kid before.
Ever.
Like, that's not a life that he has been
lived.
living. And so Jesse's just in this he's new money, you know, where it's just like, I can get out of anything. I can do anything. People love me. People are, I'm walking in and people are applauding. Like, this is nuts. I've never had 10 messages at one time. There's 2,037 DMs right now. Like, that would be wild. Like, I freak out when I see that we have 100 comments, that I'm like, 100 people had something to say about anything I've ever said in my life. Like, that blows my mind. I'm trying not to get too heady about it. Also, like 50 of them are Nettie. So I do appreciate. I see Nettie and Joanne as just like watching the episode and being like, yeah, and like pausing and being like, beep boop bop. All right, resume. beep boop. Like I love that.
Same.
Anyhow, so yeah, I think Jesse can come out of this. He's just a little baby dumpling face.
He's a big baby dumpling.
That's so funny. Jesse's totally the little baby dumpling face now. He's just a baby. But what's funny about the girls is like we started this whole season being like, oh, this chick, who's it? Oh fuck, she's gonna get lit up. This little kid, she doesn't know what she's got herself into, which like none of the other girls knew her.
Yeah.
Nobody else knew her. They all knew Jesse, right? We know Jesse. Jesse. He's so sweet and fun, playful little puppy. And now it's weird that like we're all having the moment at the same time. Even the girls at the house are having the moment of like, this girl's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Dude. This guy. He's
Isn't.
an idiot. Like he's been an idiot forever. Are we getting snowed right now? Girl, Lexi, come over here, dude. We're gonna check. Okay, we need to tell you. You know what I mean? Like they got flipped just like we got
Totally.
flipped.
They wrote her off because she had weird lip liner. You know?
But yeah, I'm so impressed by her.
Yeah. Amanda called him out perfectly and was like, I think that he is actually insanely jealous, doesn't know how to deal with it, doesn't want to admit it, would never. So he's flipped it all around on her. Like it was just like, it was verbatim exactly. She nailed him.
Which
In her audition tape for Summer in the City.
if we go back to, I think it was last episode or maybe 2 weeks ago, in vino veritas, because when they come home and they're hammered, Jesse is the one who's being the jealous boyfriend. So, and Amanda doesn't know this, by the way. She wasn't a part of that. She has no idea. So just saying, I think Amanda's onto something.
Yeah.
It makes sense too. There was a line, which is why I was like, I'm so confused by this conversation. In the secret conversation behind the SUV, one of the confusing lines is, "You know how I am," or "You know how I get." It's him saying to her, "You know how I am."
Yes.
But he's trying to cool guy it and not say any of that stuff on camera. And it's like, bro, but you're on camera all the time.
And he doesn't even need to say, like, he doesn't need to say anything. Like, he thinks that, like, he's going to get caught unless I need to distract. Nobody was onto you. Like, nobody thought that you were a jealous guy. Nobody ever thought any of that. But you had to blow up this girl. Like, she was all those things, like, in such in now obvious projection. And like, you're doing too much. Like, you just didn't need to do any of that. You could have just laid low and like kept your conversations private, and you couldn't handle it. You couldn't handle your big boy pants. Also, oh my God. I know, I get it. It would be annoying when, Kyle comes home and starts playing music and it accidentally puts it on in their bedroom. I get that that's annoying and that Amanda was irritated. But I would way rather have that than Jesse stumbling into my room when I'm sleeping and he literally just burps like this. Like last week, he did that. He did that and or farted. The other time he ran out of the room and went into West's room and then farted while West just stood there. He calls Lexi, FaceTimes her, takes his dong out and has the pee of a century. Like as he's like, why? Just you were walking in there and dialed as you were walking in the bathroom. Why didn't you just pee and then call her?
No attention span.
But
it's got to be entertained by something.
He thinks that these things are like, I'm just a I'm just a little kid. I'm being a good boy. Oh, good boy's got to go pee pee. Like,
oh God.
It's just like, he just is so gross. I just want to tell you, Jesse, if you ever had any sex appeal, you have blown your whole wad on this show. It is no mas. It is gross. I did not want that guy within. I've never found him attractive, but now I'm just like, you're a farty, burpy pisser who who makes shit up and then makes girls look bad. Like, stay away from him right now. Remember I said Wes should have to wear a sign walking down in New York City and being like, stay away.
Yeah, like he needs like a scarlet letter.
Yeah. I feel like Jesse could use that, and I think the show is going to serve as that. Except it won't, because there are so many stupid ass girls out there that are still going to be like.
That's what I was just thinking. Like, imagine if Lexi was not Lexi, like, and what he could have done to a girl. Like he could have really ruined somebody. Not really, but like a little bit of damage. But Lexi was like, please.
No, she's gonna be so over it. Just in that scenes from the next where you hear her go, "Fucking throw this shit out the window," or so, that's not it, but it's something like that. Like, and he's going to get served up some humble pie, as you like to say, and I
bon appetit. Yeah, Jesse.
Do you want to talk about Sierra?
I'll always talk about her, but I don't have anything to talk about with her. You do.
I've been on a journey with Sierra. I've had some uncomfortable moments with her these last few episodes. And it's actually my fault and just expectations of someone that you should just not have expectations. We're all just girls raised by Brenda and Kelly and like just, roaming through a sea of dumb dudes trying to make our way,
trying to find one that's not too dumb.
Yeah. Hoping that our birth control is still legal to pick up on Monday. Like it's a shit
Every
show
day's a
out there.
crapshoot.
Yeah. I think we all had the way that she, I was excited last week. I said, I'm excited to see her flip the script on Jesse. And I really was. I just kind of get the vibe that like she wasn't so much coming for him because of like his operation. It was like, I got the vibe that she was almost pissed, like when he did the whole like don't touch my arm and whatever, and she was like offended and then was like, oh, I'll show him. She just, her reaction towards it, just like it felt so much more to me like it was coming from a like, and not like a you're a bullshitter, you've been trying to bullshit everyone here. It was like she was offended, kind of almost like her.
Well, yeah, definitely. And then like, aside from the taking it like, well, you're a bullshitter, or just taking it like a normal friend group person would take it as like, oh, you're trying to get with that girl. She's okay, cool, dude.
Totally.
Like, I don't understand when someone tells somebody something about themselves that's not untrue, and then that person freaks out about it.
Yeah.
Like, and you didn't say it. You're just like, hey, X, Y, and Z, and they're like, what? Like, how dare you? Like, no, how dare I?
Show
What?
him.
You're wearing a black jacket. Like, that's all I said.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had that same thought of like, you're just being a baby, dude. You're being a brat right now. And I think, I don't know if it was Nettie, but it might have been. There's nothing going on. She doesn't have anything going on.
Yes.
And it's really a problem. She needs some stimuli.
That thing translated to her, I think, in her mind, as he is picking her. Yeah. Even though I don't like him, I don't want him. I don't know where she musters up the fucks to give about this guy, but like there's something there that she took personally. I think that Sierra is so ready for her person to enter the scene. And I want that for her so bad. Would it be great if she was completely fulfilled and happy on her own? Sure. I don't really buy all that. I think that like you're fulfilled and happy when you find your person. Like I just don't think, I think that people always are like, you need to be 100% great on your own. Sure. But like you could also just like really be ready to like move on to the next place and like find that relationship. And maybe she does, maybe it would be cool if she did exude a little bit more. I'm good, because boys always, do seem to find you when like you're at your peak just so they can knock you down. Boys, they walk by a sandcastle on the beach and what do? Kick it down.
And little girls
Stupid
are like,
sandcastle.
it's so pretty.
Yeah.
And their brother comes over and takes out their wiener and pisses on it in public. And it's just like, if that's not a metaphor for life, better they know it now. Better that you learn it young.
Yeah. No, it's very true. So I just, I wish that she, I have put her on such a pedestal. And I said this was my response because I told you last week or a couple days ago when we did the Valley that Sarah McBride had just like sent me this thing of her. And I can't even now remember what the thing was, but it was just like, Sarah, fuck, I can't remember what it was.
Was it at Coachella?
That wasn't it, but that's a whole other thing. Like, just disappointed to see her there. Like, after hearing the story that Lexi like had a birthday, invited everyone, and like she didn't say everyone showed up, but she said she didn't even. The only two people she didn't hear back from, and who also didn't come, but like didn't even say with their whatever, was Jesse and Sierra, and then like I think they had were hanging out together that day. And it was just like, I don't know, like what this whole thing is. It just is, again, I always say this, Sarah doesn't owe Lexi anything. I just haven't loved, I feel like Sierra's just been in like a sad state for all season. And, I had her on this pedestal because it's always so, I still to this day can't believe that when Wes did get his shot with her, that he didn't like pick her up and like tie her up and throw her over his shoulder and like run to a justice of the peace and like get this thing like nailed down before she wakes up and puts her contacts in and realizes you're you. And I'm me.
And
what am I doing?
Isn't going to happen.
Yeah. Like, and I will probably always be baffled by that. But I'm not sure what brought her to this state, but just the fact that even how she is with Jesse, I know she's not hooking up with him. I guess I know what the screen tells me, but she just still seemed to be wrapped up with just dudes that have nothing to offer, and so I just want to I'm taking her off the pedestal. She's just a girl with stupid insecurities that gets in stupid situations with stupid, dumbass dudes like we all do. She's no different than any of us. It's just weird. It's been hard to accept that when you look at this girl and you're just like, all of your blessings, whether it be physical, financial, your circle of friends that you've put together, but that's not nothing. That's fucking hard to do, you know? And the fact that you have like access to all this dopest shit. I'm sure there's not enough time in the day to do all the cool shit you could do. So I'm always just like, what is she doing? But like Sierra now is just a human girl, just like the rest of us. And I'm just going to stop expecting her to be any different. And I just wanted to say that. And that's not a bad thing. That is me just getting over the facade of that things that look perfect should have everything perfect and do the things and get the stuff. And she's in her way, just like the next guy. Just like the rest of us yahoos.
Well, if we're talking about how we feel about people,
that's a whole show that we do.
I got
here.
a bone to pick with you two. And I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love you guys. Never, never, ever, ever. No, I know that this isn't part of Summer House, but I feel like we've talked about Summer House. There's really nothing left to the episode. Yes.
I mean, nobody even cares about Kyle's future kids.
That's not this episode, really. I mean, talking about him jerking off into the cup.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
And also, just
so
another
sweet
shout out.
Him and Tom had
dude,
that.
like
So
Tom Schwartz has a quality that like I've always wanted and I do not have. And that is just remembering all the things that you're supposed to remember for your friends and family and love. Like when Natalie's really good at this. Just like
I don't do any of it. I remember it.
Yeah. But like you do. Like you'll get me stuff.
I remember and the do.
Like, you know who else is good at this? Anthea. I have a friend, Anthea, who's good at just listening to every little dumb thing you say. And in some point of time, that thing is going to show up. Anthea is going to get you that thing. She's going to make sure someone calls you and says, hey, Anthea told me to reach out because you wanted to. She's going to remember it all, and she's going to, if she can, take care of it, mention it, bring a plant, bring a bottle of Fireball for Jax because him and his dad used to like. And when he was like, "Oh yeah, have a good time. Maybe try tan line porn." Like that was just a perfect example of him calling back a memory. Like I wish I could do that.
It levels up every scene. Like I said, he walks into a scene and it levels up immediately because you just feel good about it. Last week, all we talked about was how everyone sucks on this show now and everyone's an asshole. And you were like, I'm not even excited to watch this. I can't believe we have to keep doing this.
Now. If Lexi and Tom Schwartz are here, I'm so in all day long.
What about Paige? Them together?
No,
I'm kidding.
No, but this is another thing. How I thought it was so interesting. And listen, maybe Tom Schwartz I think he has a girlfriend now. I don't know if he did during the filming of this, so that could have been a reason. But like Sierra did walk in and say like, Schwartz, what are you doing here?
What
like,
the hell are you doing here?
Yeah, but it wasn't like I hate Tom Schwartz. Like nice guys, not interested. Yeah. Tom Schwartz would be the best goddamn boyfriend she could ever hope for. And like,
I don't know.
No, at this point now,
you think
100,000%.
I'm just a little burned from the divorce. That's all I'm saying.
Think about it. Just like it's been it's been a while. I think he's lived an entire life since then with his businesses going down, the show getting canceled.
Yes.
And just Scandival happening how it did, and all those people. I think Tom Schwartz took such pain in watching all of his employees lose their job, and also him lose all of his money and his
family's money.
Yeah. And
Tom
he was
is
still
probably
so
a
cool
real
about it. Like, yeah.
empath. Like Chris, like how Chris and Dodie always is like, I'm an empath. Tom, I feel like, is probably closer to that in real life than.
And Jax always tries to make him feel bad about it. He acts like he's telling him a compliment. God, I wish I could just let people piss all over me and not mind.
Yeah.
I will say, every time Tom's in a scene and anyone's talking about what's going on in their personal life, and Jax's life is a dumpster fire, and whoever's piping up to say, hey, I'm going through this. As soon as Schwartz starts to give his advice, I'm always a little taken aback.
Yes.
As to how not just well said it is, but that's
Schwartz
good advice.
Is gold.
And
Schwartz
thoughtful.
is fucking gold. He's thoughtful. He's so thoughtful. He's so.
He should have like a Love Lines. That should be his new gig.
Dude, that's a good idea.
Oh God. Okay. This reminds me of one thing though that's why I'm back to hating Jesse. When I don't know
you went to liking him.
Well, I said that he's just like an idiot that'll he'll get over himself. But no, I forgot that, because the first thing that really fired me up about him, and I know probably nobody else even noticed this, and it was probably nothing, because the situation was I could see how it happened. But when he goes out, and when him and Tom are greeting each other at first, and I don't know if Tom knows him, aside from just being I know you guys are on the show. I know that I've met you at one Bravo party or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have any history, but Tom fully turned around to engage with him and was like, hey, I saw two people on the road, and he's in the middle of this, just the most benign, just Tom Schwartz, well, I saw you guys on the road. How cool is that? Whatever. And Sierra's right there, so Jesse's divided his attention to what Tom is saying, and still trying to grab at Sierra or squeeze, or you should be so lucky to get a beep beep from Tom Schwartz driving by, That's another character thing to me, that is just when someone is talking to you that you haven't seen, or has been good to you, or whatever, give them your full attention for the 15 seconds that they're talking, and don't I hate that half-ass shit where people are like, oh, hey, how's it going, bro? And it's just it's
such
so,
an industry thing.
It's
too.
such an industry thing, and it's
obnoxious.
So, yeah, and it's so just
rude.
you don't have any
respect.
You're not worth anything. You don't treat people like they're worth anything, because you're not. And
as you're saying this, because Mike had said something earlier about Jesse, him just being this big puppy, and it's so true. It's he is this dopey puppy with the big, that's what I was gonna say, the big paws. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he sees a squirrel named Sierra, and he's got to go that direction.
His boner flips up.
Yeah, exactly. He's humping things he shouldn't be humping.
Yeah.
Even though you've potty trained him, he's still pissing on shit he shouldn't be pissing on. But then he's so cute, and he just I did get this stupid puppy, and I love him.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden he's
You
back.
can't get rid of him. I can't take him back.
No.
When Wes gets on the bed,
He's gonna get
they're
killed
what
if
is
I
this
bring him
boy
back to the
doing?
murder shelter.
When he gets up on the bed, when Wes gets up on the bed with
Dude,
Paige,
That was so good.
It was so cute. He's I'm the dog that's just sitting
Yeah.
at the end of the bed.
Yeah.
By the way,
And he really
nailed
looked
it.
like
Yeah,
it. He
nailed it.
did.
But
I
on
know.
so many levels. That was
Yes.
double entendre.
Yeah.
Central.
Oh no, totally. Yeah. I shouldn't be up here. I know it, but I have a boner. This show, I don't think I've ever said the word boner as much as I have recapping this fucking show. I've said it 200 times an episode.
Speaking of
Just in the
boner,
comments,
the
Kyle
only
says
reason
summer should be fun.
the only reason Imrul wasn't here was because he had a sex party to go to. I rest my case, your boner honor. Okay,
You rest your case?
What
of
case?
just this is all I know about you, Imrul.
Okay, I gotta say, I think that he already had an orgy this weekend, so he couldn't get to your
couldn't double book your orgies.
Yeah, he couldn't
He said
double
that
book.
last weekend.
Yeah, so he said it. So, but
Can't double book your
I wouldn't have
threesome.
shown up this week if you get an off week. They all needed a little breather from each other, and so if it was a coincidence, it was a good one.
It's just so crazy because I think they only filmed 6 weeks this season, which is really strange because, or at least that's what Imrul had said in an interview, which was shocking to me because I always thought it goes from the weekend before 4th of July to like Labor Day-ish, if not Labor Day, which is not 6 weeks. That's like, what, at least 8 weeks?
They have no money.
Well, but think about it. If we're only filming 6 weekends and you've taken 2 off, that's all I need to know about you, Imrul. You don't take this.
But he didn't
Also,
take 2 off.
Yeah, he did. First weekend, he wasn't there because remember when he
I
came?
thought it was just the first day. Like the first, didn't he come late the first weekend?
I thought he
I can't remember. You
wasn't
maybe
there
you're
the
right.
first weekend.
I guess
but-
they are just shoving all of these like it's now like a Friday, and then we'll be
and
back
that also
next
made
week.
sense because it's annoying how they're doing this season where it's like the episode stops
Yeah.
on Saturday. It's like, no, give me, I want a fresh weekend every episode.
Yeah.
We deserve that, Bravo.
Yeah, unless something like like it's some
Yes,
big dramatic whatever.
cliffhanger,
But
fine.
like, there's really
To be
no
continued.
like
Yes.
like we've and also I always tell Mike now that like there is no time in between. Like they show us freaking everything. Every day there's another clip that's out. If you're adding up all these clips, by the time you get to Thursday or Wednesday or whatever the hell day
seen
the
the
show's on,
episode.
you've basically seen the whole episode. And I just think it's shitty. Like it's great because I'm watching all of them, but like I would just like to sit down and be surprised by an entire thing. And so we already know that, and we already seen scenes from the next now, so we know she dumps Jesse. Lexi dumps Jesse, and like that's really the ending of this whole. That'll wrap that up nicely.
I'm so
and,
glad she was the one that gave him the boot. and
Yeah.
not vice versa, I'm sure.
And then the stuff with Amanda, she's told us. I think we've already seen this whole thing between her and Kyle. Her saying, "I don't think I'm capable. I don't think I should take care of something else right now or whatever." I feel like we saw that maybe in the
Beginning trailer.
well, yeah, the one that what do you call it? The super tease.
No, that's
Oh, it's
is
something
that the
else.
super tease or is that the mid-season
A super tease is like a teaser is just like
a 3-minute
next
trailer.
week or like
Yeah.
a trailer.
But a
is
super
teaser.
one is
a
a
super
super
tease is like the big one, like the
Yeah.
whole season long
Yeah.
trailer. Like here is a super tease that, and it's not even a season long. Like we have super teases on AGT every night, but it's on
or
live
like a
shows.
mid-season super tease.
It's just a bigger teaser. It's just like
Yeah.
here's like
It's not
there's
30
the
seconds, it's like
typical
3
one.
minutes.
Yeah, there's the 30-second for this week or next week or da da da, and then there's
big
the
one.
big one.
Yeah, that gives you a whole big view. But so yeah, we already saw that. So like, I'm just like, listen, I'm gonna watch it, but like, unless Tom Schwartz sleeps with someone, I don't know what
Oh,
else
one
there
could
is to
only
like.
hope.
I know. I just want Tom Schwartz
love
to have
Schwartzy.
everything he wants.
Bef-
Okay. let me-
before I get into my shtick about Watch What Happens Live, which I know is not a part of Summer House, but it rolled into it from
Yeah.
Summer House.
Well, Paige was on there, so
Yeah, so we had to watch.
But I have one last thing to say
yeah,
about
please.
Summer House. As much as West and Jesse annoy the shit out of me, not so much West anymore, but Jesse now is on the fucking annoying train. Like their bromance is like just being a boy and being a bro, and like I'm in the fall for that bromance every time. But when Kyle walks in his dumb costume and he's like, "Are you guys in here broing without me?" Yeah,
Wait,
it's so funny.
Did anyone understand the sloth
No.
costume? No. Okay, just making
well,
sure.
they
I
are
was-
very sleepy.
Sure,
like,
but like
slothing around. They're always like,
they're so cute. And then when they reach out, like,
I mean, sloth, the word sloth is being lazy and do nothing. Interesting.
okay, let's back
Interesting
off.
choice.
Back off, my
And then
girl.
my last thing that I have to say, which will kind of take us into Watch What Happens Live, because Miss DeSorbo was on there in the game, if I can do a little super tease. Did anyone clock the amount of trigger Paige got when Lexi was like, "Well, he's like saying he's changed for me,"
Oh,
and she
yeah,
just
yeah,
fucking
like-
breaks on. Do not, if any man tells you that he's changed for you, walk away. Like that's what the walk away was. It wasn't. If you're not feeling it, you should walk away like it was edited in all the trailers. She flipped a switch. I guarantee Craig have said some of that. Like, well, I
Yeah.
got sober for you. Like towards the end, like
I
some
got sober for
bullshit.
you.
that was
You
a
know what I mean?
personal response.
Oh, that
Be
was that hit
hilarious if
her
you said
right
that.
in the gut, and she was like, no,
No,
we
she was
will
back.
not be doing that, and that came from experience, if I do say so
Yeah,
myself.
no, she was back. That scene, it was like, oh, Paige is up and awake,
Yeah.
out of bed, and doing stuff.
Yeah, no, that
A couple more things before we go to watch what happens live that I forgot. Did anyone notice that Schwartz, when they go into Emerald's room, everyone's going to bed, that Schwartz made a pallet on the floor?
bro, I
Made a
no,
pallet?
he
Like
didn't.
he just like, well, that,
I wrote, how the hell did he end up flat on the floor using his suitcase as a pillow?
I feel like he didn't want to get into the orgy beast bed.
Oh, I don't blame
But he had
him.
all the lights on too. I think he sat down to like do something weird and then just fell asleep with the lights on.
He pulled a Kyle.
Yeah, he
Oh
pulled
my
a
God,
Kyle
that's
or like sat
amazing.
down to get on
That
his
is
phone while he was
hilarious.
looking for a jammies or something.
Yeah,
And
and then just passed
was
out.
like, this is fine. I'm fine here.
I thought he was doing it because everybody was teasing him about like, oh, I don't know if I'd get in those
Yeah, you
sheets
didn't
or whatever.
need a condom.
But
Quote the movie you quoted earlier. I better double bag this shit. I don't know where this bitch has been.
At first I was like, oh God, oh great, I would do that too. And then I'm like, oh wait, the camera has panned to something many times on the floor that none of us have been able to figure
Yeah,
out what
he's
it is.
sleeping on it.
I'm like, there's just as much stuff on the floor that I would have just gone to sleep in the.
That's been bleached. You can't bleach the
Yeah,
mattress.
yeah.
I would just sleep in Jesse's bed.
I know. I can't believe they shoved him in there. And then the other thing was that I love that. I love that the first thing I've ever really had had a relatable moment with Gabby. It was when she said about boyfriend and girlfriend. It's not when you're exclusive. I looked it up on TikTok.
That was adorable.
Yeah, I have to
So-
look up everything on like when somebody said to you the other day, wait, is Mike shipping Paige and Sierra? I was like, shipping them where?
Yeah,
like
I thought the same thing. Never heard it, and now I've heard it 15
50
times
times
since
ever
then,
since
and now
then.
I know what it means.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
thank you for that. But yeah, that
What does
that
really
mean?
felt old. It's like
I still don't
it's
know. I just mean I've heard it a
relationship-ing.
lot
It's
now.
like, are you gonna? Do you see them as a couple? It says comes
I
off
think it's
a
like
relationship.
approval. Like you like
You
it's
approve
ready.
of
You're gonna
them
ship it
as a
out. It's
couple.
like
It's not. It's
Oh.
comes from relationship. So you ship. Do you ship them? Are you shipping them? Like,
Oh, like you're putting them
do you
together
see
as a
them
couple.
in a couple as a couple? Yeah.
I thought it was like an approval thing.
No.
Gabby's a great example, though, of someone, if we're looking at like, listen, she has not gotten a lot of screen time this season, might be her last summer, which I really love Gabby. So listen, go with God, Gabby, if that's what you want for your life to be off TV, I'm here for it. But like, when she's there, she's there. She's got a cute, like her little sheep costume on. She's
I know.
talking about with people about different things. Like
She
this is what I'm
was softer this episode, but still like being like, no, I'm just regurgitating what he told me. I'm not like she gets involved, but then when she did that little shimmy in the sheep thing, like I've just never seen her be kind of vulnerable to anyone, and like I know it's just a shimmy, who gives a shit, but like I think body language is
I feel like she's done
is like
shimmies
everything to me,
before.
especially watching all these girls, and you could just really tell like where they're at in their life phase, and like what, like I'm talking about Sierra and just being like womp womp, like when you just see that like no one's giving, she's not getting that thing. I have to pick up on that with Gabby. It took her this long to be like, hi,
But Gabby also, yeah.
'cause she's not like that.
But Gabby also, I feel like I've seen her do like cute little shimmies before. But Gabby also got herself a foreign dude in Montauk.
Yeah.
So she's like,
Oh,
"See
she
you."
did?
Well, I mean, that's why she's always dipping now. I'm assuming in the early
Wait,
on.
how do we know that?
Early in the season, she was like, she was talking about shitting on American dudes,
That I
and how
remember.
she got a guy in Montauk or a friend in Montauk that she goes and visits, and then she shows up and then keeps dipping out every weekend. So I can only assume,
Yeah.
that
Arriva
that's where
Dirt
she's-
Signore.
Yeah.
She's out
That's
for
where
that
she's going.
play
Must
to
be
play a little hide the
Italian.
salami.
Anywho. Go Lakers. Watch What Happens Live. Paige DeSorbo. Miss DeSorbo, as I'm now going to refer to
Yeah,
her.
Ms. DeSorbo.
Yeah, she got me
nasty.
back. I was in like, there's a couple weeks where I was like, you're kind of bugging me. But like, I had so much past stuff with her that I like Paige. And now I'm back. This one.
As I was watching this, I had a fire rising inside of me because I've never been on the bad. She's never been on my bad side.
Yeah.
I have loved her. And listen, I want to say something to America. I can love, maybe even stan Paige and still like Craig. Two truths. Two things can be true. I can like Coke and Pepsi. I don't. I just like Coke unless Pepsi wants to sponsor us, and I love Pepsi. I'm just saying, like, I don't have to love her to be like, Craig's the worst person in the world. And I'm going to say this. I believe Paige and what she's saying. I have never known her to be a liar. I love her success. I love how when Andy's like, I have questions for you, she didn't dodge them. She didn't squirm. She took it on the chin like an adult. She answered all the questions. And again, I'm not saying that Craig didn't answer the questions. I'm just saying the way she stepped up to the plate in that episode, and just in my opinion, always does. I love it. She's an amazing reality TV star. I think she's a really good, I don't know how to put this any other way, like famous person. She nails her looks. She has a great social media presence. She's not in and out of all this drama. I think when she says, what was your take on, you dating too quickly or something like that. I can't remember Andy's question that he had asked her, but it was something alluding to the fact that, like, did you cheat on him, basically?
No, she just asked him if you're seeing anyone right
Or if
now.
you're
No,
seeing-
he said that you just addressed the rumors. They addressing the rumors that you were seeing somebody while you're with Craig, and she said definitely seeing a bunch of people and having a good time.
Yeah. Like, and she's like, and I'm single and I'm having fun. And like, she's never shied away from talking about any of it. She's never talked in circles. She's just more matter of fact about things. She outgrew this relationship. And that doesn't mean that Craig's some small podunk town kind of guy. It just wasn't right for her anymore. And she has every right to not want to be in a relationship anymore. And two things can be true. She could have wanted to marry him at one point and then changed her mind. That's why divorce is an option for people. But she never married him, so she didn't have to divorce him. But if they were married, she probably would have divorced him.
Well, it's
and
not-
none
you
of this
don't
makes
even-
her a bad person.
You don't even have to go to divorce. It's like divorce. No, that's a whole other thing. It's why people break up.
Yes.
Like they just broke up. Like I know I spent a minute being like, oh, she never wanted to marry this dude. She was never, I was in that camp, definitely, for a minute. Not hating on it, but like annoyed that like she was never going to marry this little bumpkin, right? Like that's just not Paige's husband.
Dare you, sir. Yeah, I was never in this camp.
Yeah.
Roll the tape.
So, like when they broke up, I kind of was like, I think people are so mad at the people who are mad at Paige. I think are mad at her because they kind of knew this wasn't your guy. You kind of let him like, and I dipped into that pool for a minute. Now I'm just like, I think a week or two ago I got to that place too where I was like, I'm over talking about it. They dated. It was fantastic, and then it wasn't, and they broke up. Like that's what happens. And around that 2 or 3 year mark is probably when you start thinking like, we're doing this or should we bounce? You know what I mean? So this just is a perfectly normal course of a relationship. I do now believe that she did consider marrying him seriously, and now I think whatever happened with his reaction to her tour, I think that was the thing.
straw that broke the
That
camel's
was the
back.
straw that made her sit
100%.
back and be like, you know what else? Dude, shit, you know what else? Like she just started processing all the things that you don't think about until you have to think about it.
Correct. And so many people were, sorry, Nat, triggered by her saying that she makes more money than him.
A breadwinner. Are
Or
we going
breadwinner.
here again? It was just a breadwinner.
no.
It was a word, a specific
I'm
old
not talking-
school word.
But she cleared it up.
Yeah,
I'm
but
talking
I've
about you.
never not said that she didn't make more money than him.
No,
I've always thought she made more
No,
money.
I was just saying
than
triggered
him.
because you hate the word triggered.
Oh, I was like that. I was triggered by her
Right.
making more
Oh,
money.
no.
I'm
I
like,
just meant-
what are you
I
talking
just always
about? I've
joke.
gone out of my way to say that I have no idea who makes more
No.
money. She probably does. She has no overhead.
Every time I say the word triggered, I always say,
Okay.
sorry, not triggered. I thought it was a running joke. Clearly,
I'm
no.
with you. I
Thanks,
got it.
Mark.
Yeah.
Someone's
No, but if it was followed by, I know you get triggered by that she makes more money.
Yeah, no,
Oh, I
but
didn't
she
think you
said
got
that
triggered by
triggered
that.
joke multiple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. Someone's.
Someone's getting triggered. Sorry.
But no, so many people were like just really annoyed that she had said breadwinner, right? And it never annoyed me. I don't care that she is out am proud that and talks about the fact that she makes more money than him. Doesn't bother me one iota. I love how she sat on that couch or that chair and Andy was like, here's someone who's done something that I've never done. Sell out Radio City Hall. Not once, but twice. Like, I'm here to pump this chick up. She has done something in her career that is pretty massive. She's hosting the Vanity Fair party. She has a New York Times bestselling list.
You
she
need
has
to tell America. You're looking at me like I don't agree with all this
no,
stuff.
sorry. I just don't know who to say it to. And I never do the whole thing to the camera. I'll do it to Mike. I just am looking. Foof, you want to listen? Like, I'm just here for... No, I know you love her. I'm not saying it like...
I agree with every single thing that you're saying.
no,
I've always just been... like everyone gets so up in arms about Craig, and so I just want everyone to know I really like Craig too.
No.
Like,
That's why I want to say this, because
Yeah.
I know we'll say stuff about Paige, and people get very up in arms, which is why I prefaced it with, we can love Craig and we can love Paige, and I just feel like it's time that we. And I don't even like this expression, but I don't know any other way to say it right now. Like, give her flowers, because she has done so much incredible stuff. She has built herself up work-wise, and I get it. Her parents helped her and paid her rent for a while and done all this stuff. I'm sure.
Who didn't? I mean, I guess not everyone, but still.
My parents didn't
Oh,
do
my
that. But
parent. Well,
by the way,
in
I would love for them
college-
too if they want to.
In college, we all got paid for.
Oh, in college, yes. But no, the money I made at the water slides that summer was the money I had to spend. My parents were like, we will buy your books and we will pay your rent. You have a meal plan, but that is it. Like, I had to pay my own bill, like my own heat bill. I lived without heat in Boston for like a month and a half because I couldn't afford my heat bill and afford to eat. And finally, my mom's like, Robert, this is ridiculous. The kid is freezing to death. Could you imagine living in Boston with no heat on for a month and a half? Yeah, it was pretty,
Sounds like you had to work harder.
pretty fucking cold. But so at any rate, my point
My
is,
mom helped me. I didn't go to college, but my mom took care of me a bunch.
no, I'm not saying this to you. I'm saying this like just in general. Like, we get to like Paige, and that's okay. And I don't think she cheated. And if she did, I will be the first person to eat my words. I will say, I'm sorry. I totally got it wrong. And again, I'm also not saying she's perfect. Nobody is perfect. I just like her. I find her funny. I think she has great style, and I think she's accomplishing so much, and I'm here for all of that. I have no proof that she cheated on Craig, so I am abstaining from going hard on her there just because I don't really know, besides me like patchworking stuff together that may or may not be true. And I just think she's accomplished so much, and I'm here for it. Fuck, I would love to accomplish that much, and I think it's absolutely awesome that she's done all of this, and that's it. And I just wanted to say, brava, lady.
You guys think Paige is gay?
Nope.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I've never changed. Paige is one person too that I've never done a full flip on. Like I say, if you watch Bravo long enough, you're going to flip on all these people. But I definitely had moments where I'm like, oh, God damn it. Why'd you say that? Why'd you do that? That was so dumb. That's not you. And I know even last week I was bitching, or a couple weeks ago, I wasn't bitching at Paige having anxiety. I was bitching. I don't like it when smart people pretend that they don't know what's going on. So I was more like, why? I don't understand that you don't. I didn't understand that she didn't understand what was happening when she was like, I have everything, and I'm like, you're too smart for that.
But
you know
I
what's happening.
no, because I think people have to learn to be famous, and famous isn't just like being well known. She has all of these new responsibilities. I think she's got a new level of notoriety. She was like Bravo famous, right? But now you're hosting the Vanity Fairs after Oscar party. That's a different level.
That's a nothing thing. The fact that you're book touring on all the late nights, like that Vanity Fair, cool, but that's not crazy.
Whatever, I'm saying
when
that's
I
one
started
of
seeing
many.
these fuckers on Jimmy Kimmel and all these playing
Fallon,
games with Fallon
they have a
and
New
shit,
York
I was
Times.
like, oh, you guys are, this is it.
They've leveled
you're
up.
popping
I've been
up.
saying all of this.
What?
I feel like we're having this conversation like we've never had this. Have we not said this the entire time?
No.
Every single thing that you're saying, like, even the Vanity Fair thing. Like, we've had this entire discussion. I feel like you're acting like this is all new news.
No. We've said this before, but I feel like I've never taken like my hard stance of like, I get to love her.
We have.
And oh, really?
I just want you to know that we have done everything that we possibly can. And I just need you to leave it on the field. And like, we got to leave this whole relationship on the field and like move on from it, because this is all of these things that she's doing. She's been doing this forever. We've been going over all of it. We've been working our asses off to like, basically, God, Bravo's so fucking hard. It is a really hard place to live. And I can't imagine what she has had to, I can't imagine it. I can't imagine what she's had to go through this year. She's been doing this entire time. And I feel like we have been tiptoeing around it, but also then getting to a point where we're just so frustrated and being
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
I just feel like we've tiptoed a little bit, and I'm just ready to be like, and I'm gay for Paige only.
Yeah, I think I'm probably just getting defensive right now because you're saying it like I'm taking it as if like you're telling me these things, and I'm like, I feel like I've been spending 2 hours a night saying all this stuff, and I just want America to know that I never didn't not think any of that, and it's just been a weird ride having to care about two people that it is such a Team Kelly or Team Brenda
but we
world.
both actually we care for both of them.
Yeah,
we really genuinely do. That's why I said like just because we do really like Craig doesn't mean I don't have to not like Paige. It's like parents getting divorced. We can have an acrimonious divorce. I'm not saying that they did. I'm just saying I can like both people in this relationship, even though they are no longer in a relationship. So can you. So can Mike. And I'm just watching that watch what happens live just invigorated me with my love for her, because I just felt like, okay,
yeah,
I'm getting some real clarity here, even just for me. And you're right, we haven't said it. I just feel like I've been feeling like we've been having to tiptoe, like you said as well.
Yeah, I thought it was funny that how Andy was kind of kowtowing to her, where you could tell that he had not been, he had been really indulging in all of the fandom of it, which bravo. I loved every minute of it. Loved all the questions, loved all the snarky, like, shady questions and shit. Like I was here for all of it. But the way when he goes, "Are you mad at me?" And when he talked about the radio, I think he really went out of his way to almost
butter her up.
I mean, like even like not to do what you just said, but to be like, I just need everyone out there to know in TV land. Like I think that he did his job. He did his job, and I think he felt a little, well, because also the timing of this whole thing. When we talked about, that Southern Charm is responsible for taking care of him and putting him in the best light and showing him as a real person and this whole heartbreak and all the horribleness of it. And then we said, okay, and then Summer House is going to come, and then we're going to see a totally different perspective of it because it's their job to do this. And at first we were like, are they not doing it? Like it seemed like they lagged on it for a minute. But then this entire second half of the season, like documenting every single piece of her, like one foot in front of the other, getting to this place. And then I don't know why we're not seeing after shows.
Why?
I don't know.
What's the
and
deal?
like maybe they don't have them, but like maybe I don't know. Like I don't know. And then to save her, when we saw Craig's interview on Watch What Happens Live, when he was talking about all this stuff, and we were like, holy ballsack, that was the greatest interview of all time. And we had an episode, like we named the title of our episode, How Pissed is Paige Right Now? Because it was just like, not only no notes, I didn't know you had it in you. Like it was impressive. I think that her story last night was very tamed. Like I think that like when you're like, oh, she let us have it. I think her answers were perfectly like, I don't think he asked, did you cheat on him? I think he said, are you dating? Everyone wants to know if you're dating. And she's like, I'm dating everyone. I'm dating around.
He didn't say, are you cheating?
Or
he said, do you want to address the rumors
that you're dating someone?
That you were dating someone while you were with Craig.
He said while you were with Craig?
I don't think he was like, are you dating anyone? It was, do you want to address the rumors of the
I thought it was that you're dating someone.
I mean, I would have to listen to it again, but it wasn't are you dating someone? It wasn't a like, let's find out. It was alluding to that rumor that you were dating Joe DeMeo.
Okay,
whatever.
so then listen. So I just want to clear because if that's the case, I think her answer was not, no, I never cheated on him. I'm dating someone. I'm dating now. I'm dating everyone. Whatever. Like, so that's not a direct. If that was his question, then she did not answer that question directly. Again, I don't think she did. But like, just calling a spade if we're doing this, talking about how she shot it back. She gave a full force answer. I don't think she specifically said I never did that. I think she said that in like other interviews or whatever. But just because I just feel like people might get a little fired up on that detail. Maybe we want to watch it really fast.
Sure. I could pull it up.
And then the other thing was the timing of this. For her, he chose that perfect amount of time to wait until after it happened to go do his interview. He didn't speak right away. We were all kind of impressed with like, he laid low, didn't say anything, wasn't in the wasn't talking to anybody, wasn't doing podcasts, wasn't answering any questions about it. Came out, said what he said, and it was like perfect. And then for her to come when she did, she timed hers so that we're going to see all the things from the last like she said nothing on Bravo about this as far as I can remember. Has she been on Watch What Happens since this happened?
I don't think this.
This
I think
season?
this is
Because
her
like
first
everyone
breakup?
else has. Yeah.
Since what?
Since the breakup. Like,
This is her
okay.
first experience.
So she timed that perfectly for Summer House to air all of the episodes to show her walking through this.
Do we think though that because I think you have to be asked to be on Watch What Happens Live, right? So I don't think. I guess this is my question. Do we think that was her timing it, or do we think that was like the luck of the draw because it was Summer House on?
I don't think
after
there's any
Southern
luck.
Charm.
I don't think Paige leaves anything to luck, and I don't think I think that she's a big enough component on that show, and is a big enough like. No, we need to do this. We want to like. I just think she made the most.
It doesn't even like. Yes, you have to be asked, but she could see like this. This was 100% planned. Like the timing of it. You Paige waiting a bit. Yeah, I'm available this weekend or this day. Great, let's pencil it. Like we're great. We're good. You know what I mean?
No, I'm asking.
Can you do this month? I can't. You know, like her team. This is all, and she's a big enough person in that universe. Like that was not a coincidental timing. Oh yeah, our schedules just happen to perfectly be aligned on this day.
But do you think she's a big enough person on the network that like if during all of this, if she had emailed Andy or whatever and said, hey, I want to do Watch What Happens Live and talk about this, that would happen. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I just don't know.
And I think that like it's even as we're going to do this, that, and the other all beforehand. Southern Charm's airing right now, but don't worry, we'll get you on the back end. You know, like I even when he's like, sorry that I did that. And she's like, we love ratings, Andy. We're business people. like, I just think like it's a whole like,
I think that had more to do with Craig when he was like, what's the one thing that you guys are mad at me about when they were when all the boys were on. And Craig was like, you did tell me in the green room we weren't going to really go hard on the thing. And then he was like, and even Andy was like, yeah, my bad. Like
Spritz Wars are back on.
Yeah. Like, so I think that was him being like, you're not mad at me, right? And she was like, no, I'm an adult. Like I understand how much money I've made in the last 6 months after breaking up with this idiot.
And also all because of the platform that this network gave me.
Right.
Yeah. And then she was going to film the reunion the following day. So it just made me wonder if there's like things that like, I wonder if she said things in the after show that they just decided we're going to hold on to those things, or like, I'm going to go do Watch What Happens Live on this day. I'd rather like, it's just weird. Like, where did they all go? They just like magically left the air. And maybe there isn't one for every episode, but there certainly isn't.
There has been for every other show.
Yeah.
From Housewives to Southern Charm.
Yeah,
we've gotten an after show. The Valley.
Yeah. And then
they just stopped.
Out of nowhere. Yeah. So yeah, I think that she timed this brilliantly and did better. Like, I don't want to say she did better than Craig. When Craig did it, it was fresh and we were dying to hear anything personal from either of them. And so he was our first shot at like the raw, heartbreak and just the thing that we were waiting for. We were like glued to it. And she waited long enough for everyone to kind of get over it, see her side of the story, and then come in and give the perfect answer to everything. I just don't, like I said, if they asked her if she was cheating, she didn't say, no, I wasn't cheating. So
I agree with that.
Yeah. It wasn't as pointed as like, were you cheating? But I think it was kind of,
It just was.
everything was at, you know, when someone can ask a question around what they're really saying, like
her answer was also in
And
the
I think
same
exactly.
thing. They both just decided. So that's why, like, I know it seems like I'm making a big deal about this, but I just wanted you to clarify because we're saying things that are like live into like just something that
What are we saying? Who said what?
She answered everything with full, like, give it to me. I'll give it right back. Like, just. But that interview just seemed very strategic to me. I loved it. She has to have strategy. I've been saying that from the jump too. It's just like you get the questions beforehand and then you come up with the answer that like no one can really say yes or no to or argue with. Like, it's just very like,
I think I'm missing something. But if someone had a gun to my head right now, Joanne, I'm talking to you, and they were like, did she cheat right now? Yes or no? Based off that run around answer, and then the next thing that was like, were you upset that Craig didn't defend you? And she's like, I didn't need him to defend me. I did need him to not lean into it. I'm now like, fuck. Maybe you did cheat because you didn't say no. And I'm not saying you have to defend yourself and go on TV and be like, no, I didn't, because that probably would have been weird too. But she for sure did not say that she didn't cheat.
Yeah. But do you think that he did lean into it?
I think him and Austin were
in cahoots.
They were walking the line.
Oh, Austin wasn't walking a line. Austin straight up was like,
Austin was dancing on her grave.
And Shep did, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck.
But Craig's whole, like Craig being Craig.
From a cheater, by the way. Like you got real balls, buddy, to sit there and piss on someone else for cheating when you literally cheat all the time.
Yeah.
For anybody else to say that things that Craig said, the way he said it, I would be like, no. But then again, like it's Craig, right? So this is a boy. He has cried wolf. So when I see Craig be like, well, I'm just not. It's not my place. She broke up with me. Like that's leaning into it. That's like being what's the word?
He's walking the line.
Waffling.
I think that he thought that she did,
serious,
and
Craig.
then was just like, "No, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to stand up for you and say no, you didn't." I feel like maybe you did because I feel like Craig had convinced himself that like something's got to be going on. You don't leave all of this for nothing. Like, so I think that I don't think he leaned into it. I think he truly was still entertaining the idea that like this doesn't make sense to me that we're not together anymore. It should have, but you know, I don't think Craig was lying when he said he was blindsided. But I think that Craig being blindsided and me being blindsided are very different because I don't create my own realities.
I also would like to say, it's not that I think she was like, I didn't cheat, or like when I'm saying like she came in there and she answered the questions. I think part of, hopefully, when you grow up, I'm still trying to do this, is like you realize not everybody's gonna like me. And that's okay. And so I'm going to answer a question a certain way, or I'm going to wear an outfit, or I'm going to say something that's just going to, it's not going to scratch your itch. In fact, it's going to make you think that I'm an asshole, I'm a spoiled brat, I'm a cheater, whatever it is. And I just felt like she came across to me as someone who was comfortable in their skin, who said, you know, what do you think about this whole, and I like Miss Pat, but like, what do you think about Miss Patricia's comment to you? And she's like, you know, she said that she was a bitch, and I think she nailed that part. Yeah. And is that the answer I would have given? Maybe not, because I still am like, I'm trying to really work my way out of being a chronic people pleaser. I just thought that whether you liked her answers or not, I just like someone she is who she is. And I thought she was very clear about that in this interview. Yeah. And she felt a ton more free than she has in comparison to the summer. She was a ball of anxiety over the summer. And I think also, you know, Shane always says, like, you got to prove yourself to yourself. And I think going on this 60 city tour and making however much money that she's made, and I'm not saying you need to make a lot of money to prove yourself to yourself. This is just her story. Yeah. Having the successful Amazon stuff, having the successful book, the successful podcast, all of this hard work has, I think, made her say, okay, great. You know what? He can lean into that and I can lean into
Yeah.
being myself. And if you like me, great. And if you don't, I'm okay with that too. And I really, as someone who's working on being okay with people not liking them, I appreciate seeing someone who is okay with people not liking them.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what really rang my bell.
Yeah. She to me seemed like she's like never been more fine with like a middle fingers up attitude, but also not going to do anything that's going to take out of her wallet, you know? So she's like, okay with like, yeah, I'm going to give a roundabout answer to your roundabout question. And then we're going to move on because we already talked about this and we're not, and whatever. And I could never be like, regardless of what happened, I could never tell you anything and I don't owe you anything. So I'm moving on with my life. You're in or you're out. I think that everything that happened to her, she was not expecting, and I think she says something about like not realizing it was going to be as gnarly as it was, but that like she's fine with it as it was, and that she thinks it got pretty gnarly for Craig too, and she never like wished that for him. I thought that was nice of her to say.
Totally.
It is weird when she won't say his name. She just says my ex. He was siding with my ex. Did she like one day decide like I'm never saying his name again? She never says it.
I get that because like after bad breakups, I don't want your name in my mouth, even if for whatever the various reasons of the breakup could be. I wouldn't say like, let's say I dated someone named Matt, which I have not. But instead of saying like, oh, you know, Matt really broke my heart, I would be like, look, that relationship really broke my heart. I don't know. There's something like too
I get that,
tender
but it's
around
like,
it.
it's like we don't know Matt. We all know Greg. So it just very stands out. It like sticks out to everyone. And it just is like a choice that like, I'm just wondering like what her
I think it
thing
just
was. Or is it like, I don't want to, if the more I say his name, the more Googleable he is.
I think it's
because, you know, when you,
they're dead. Like it's her whole, oh, you guys still talk to your exes? Dude, when I'm done,
You're
they're
dead
dead
to
to me. Like you're dead to me. Your name's dead. You're a person. I'm what? Why?
yeah.
We're dead. We're good. We're good. I'll see
Yeah.
you at BravoCon and but like,
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm moving on.
Yeah. And I think that she would
She
have never
probably hates
gotten
the type of girls too that get with a dude and talk about their ex-boyfriend
Oh,
all
yeah,
the
yeah,
time.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I could see Paige being like, dude, shut up.
yeah.
Don't be that girl, you know? So she probably doesn't want to be that girl.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
She I don't think that she would have gotten it's shitty to have to go through such like turmoil and taunting and all the things to get to a next level, but I really think this whole experience is what catapulted her into just understanding how everything works even more than she already did. And I already thought she was very savvy in all the things. And I think that this is going to make her a shit ton of money and have a beautiful future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats, Paige.
Should we do comments?
Good for you. Good for you, Paige. Real quick, what are you thinking that you want from LaBelle? I'm ordering it now.
Oh,
Chachas? Or something else?
yeah, that and a burrito.
Oh, hey, buddy.
I love that Carol T, which this side of 6 months ago I would have pronounced as Carolt, like Carlite. She wrote, I just can't understand why a widely viewed show can't get the front door fixed for years. That cannot be a major expense to do. And I'm having deja vu, so I can't remember if we've already spoken about this.
We've talked about this multiple times.
No. We have with the door, but they fixed it. And I feel like the cast members had said like they almost missed it a little bit. Did we say this or did I dream
Wait,
this?
what?
No.
They didn't fix it.
Paige
We thought
said that
they
it got
fixed
fixed.
it.
Yeah, it did get fixed.
Wait, when did she say that?
She said it in the interview, but we haven't seen it on screen
Right.
yet. But it does get fixed, and she says they missed it. And I just think, get over it. Nobody should miss that. It's exactly what we said it is. How we thought, oh, the producers have made this into a bit.
Yeah.
That's this like endearing, funny thing. And we're like, it's not funny. Fix the fucking door. You're a $1 jillion house in the Hamptons. Like,
Right.
what's the problem?
Get a handyman in there.
But I guess the cast did find it endearing, and now they miss the broken door. We haven't seen that it's been fixed, but it has been.
Yeah.
Got it.
Patrick Bornin said, Paige and Craig, opposites attract until they don't.
I said that. I think she's referring to the thing that I said.
Oh, Patrick Bornin quoting Mike, Paige and Craig, opposites attract until they don't. It really
He wants
cracked
to
me
make
up.
sure that you know that he already thought of that.
Oh, also, Carol T. She said, I don't know the origin of how you three found each other, but I love your collaboration and I'm a great plain 50B and state.
I need to know what all
Great
of that
Plain
means.
And a stateway was listening. Don't know the last part. I'm dyslexic.
I
so
don't know the
thought-
whole last sentence, and I read it 50 times. I took it as the best compliment ever because that's what I do. But I still am like, is it like a Great Plains bitch? And I was on the state highway this morning and listening. Like that's literally, I could not come up with what
I think that could be very close. I wanted, and I know that we all replied to this, but just for anyone else who cares, Nat and I met 100 years ago, and
like 7 because I was like 17 or something.
Mhm.
Young,
Yeah.
young 17.
and I literally like climbed over people. This is embarrassing, but we were at a club and I climbed over people because I was like, who is this glorious blonde? And I was like, hey, I heard you live by me. Do you play board games? She doesn't. To know Natalie is to know she actually hates a board game. Still make her play them.
No, I hate puzzles. These two morons want to do puzzle.
No, and we make you play Mexican train dominoes, and you hate that too.
Oh,
I think she likes dominoes. That game just takes too long. Natalie doesn't like a 3-hour game. Like that's
'Cause she doesn't like
I have real
games.
bad low attention and low blood sugars.
Well, so anyway, so that's how we met. And I would come here every Friday for what we called,
Don't say it.
I'm not gonna.
But we only lived like a half a mile apart. So
If that, yeah.
yeah, like that's a dream.
Well, I would come over every Friday and we would make cocktails and lay
Yeah.
by the pool and
Yeah.
tan ourselves. And
When it was not frowned upon.
Yeah. and then she picked up this guy somewhere, and now that's our love story. That's our origin story.
Yeah.
Yeah. After their first date, I had really bad food poisoning and I was staying in this building and Nat came up to visit me because I was literally on death's door, but I knew she had this date with a guy that she really liked. And
Barely.
I'm like, how was
Wait,
the
would
date?
you say barely?
I barely liked you.
You loved me.
I was like, how was the date with Mark? Can you hand me my Gatorade? And she told me the whole story. And she
Wait, after our breakfast date or our dinner date?
after the
Why'd you say?
We had 2 dates in one day.
yeah, it was after the whole thing ended, Mark.
Well, I know what happened after the dinner date
Anyway,
ended.
she really liked you, but she doesn't after tonight.
Whatever. We love each other.
Can someone leave a comment when they're just like they don't have a name?
They probably just use a space for their name.
Okay, well, I don't know who to attribute this to, but it just says Paige told Craig, quote, I'm not the same person I was 3 years ago. And I just like that they remembered that she said that earlier in the season because I think that's totally legitimate. And that's it.
This is Pat Clark, my golfing buddy. I thought this was pretty good. I didn't really think about it, but it's pretty spot on. Absolutely, Craig was what about me? Craig has always been about Craig. I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's Craig. Even with his buddies, there's no compromise in Craig. He couldn't compromise for Naomi. He couldn't compromise for Patricia's pillows, and he can't compromise for Paige's career. That's Craig. I'm not a Craig hater, but like that's Craig. That is
Little
Craig.
stubborn streak.
Nailed that one.
Yeah, some girl's going to want to do all the things that Craig wants to do, and it's going to be great. Until then, it's not going to be great.
Here's a good one from Nettie. Shocker. Agree with both Mike and Nat. Sorry, Courtney.
That's a key.
Paige is nervous and anxious. Call it projection or deflection. Not sure. I'm not a psychiatrist. She needs to get it together, except that with more money and responsibility comes stress and decision making. Because she's an adult, she chose this path. Part of me just feels like she's constantly trying to justify the decision to jump Craig, which somebody else had said, I don't know if it was Sarah or somebody had talked about like not liking the dude and needing to cause a big scene to like have a reason to break up with them because the reason was just like they just didn't like him anymore. But we all come up with this, oh no, there's
Yeah,
That doesn't
'cause-
make any sense. So there's got to be a big thing. You cause a big fight.
Well, on this network, you're not allowed to just leave a boy who has a job and,
But also, don't you
friends
think
and,
that,
and a good
like-
hairline.
But don't you think that there is usually a straw that breaks the camel's back?
I think there's many straws. I think there's a straw that makes you start to think about shit, and then there's a
Right, but then there's one that just happens where you're just like, okay.
yeah, that's a wrap on me.
Hence the saying.
The rest of that, if it's part of me just feels like she's constantly trying to justify the decision to dump Craig. If it's the right decision, why all the tears? And why diminish Craig on national TV and have all your friends do the same? Why not hold your head up high and say it is what it is and go party so that we have something to watch on TV that's more interesting? I'm just over her and her support group. Not over her, but yeah, I'm definitely, like I said, I'm just like a couple weeks of I was like, ugh, getting on my nerves. But whatever.
I just would love them to never be in the same sentence again. I just want them to be in like,
fine.
I can't.
So was Tim.
Yeah, I just want their lives to continue on. I can't wait. I don't want the season to be over, but I just can't wait till it's over. So because I think this will be over after that. Like they're already filming Southern Charm, and his new girlfriend is like in the show. Like I don't know if she's like a part of the show, but like they're filming with her there.
That's
real?
not surprising at all to me.
Natalie?
Yeah,
She's an influencer. Of course she's on the show.
Damn. That's a bit soon.
Them's are the rules.
That's soon. Wait, they're filming some. Oh wait, April.
And you remember Madison said that she's like, apparently the ratings were so great that.
No,
And I'm like, the ratings, and you had a massive, and this is Scandal all over again. That's that's what you do. But the ratings were really great. We were just pissed that they were
for nothing.
Yeah, and it was our own fault because we were all still watching.
Yeah, being like, no, it's this week.
Yeah.
Something's gonna happen this week.
Yeah, it's
it didn't.
all
If you haven't
happening.
watched it, nothing happened any of the weeks.
Yeah.
Terry Knights. Maybe Craig and Paige will get back together after their first divorces.
Yeah, that was funny.
That's funny. Pat Clark. Yeah, Mike, I'll listen to your golf recaps. We're working on it.
Work harder.
Lala says, "Oh my God, Mike, my iced coffee almost went up my nose when you brought up Sierra possibly being gay. She may very well be in love with Paige."
Do you have something to say, Minnie?
You didn't even see that, did you?
What are you talking about, pussy?
P.S. Has Sierra ever had a great summer? My answer is no. I think she has. Not in a minute. I would love to see her have a great summer. I don't think she's in love with Paige. Are you gonna renege on that on that take?
I'm with you on all of that.
Are you still like, no, she's oddly into Paige?
Yeah, I don't think, and I got to find a comment because, again, you guys didn't understand what I was trying to say.
We so
Oh my
stupid.
God.
The man tried to explain, but we
I don't know why
just
you got to make it that. But
I literally said it.
but you did.
Justice
You didn't because
for
I
Rose.
watched
Totally
it back
teasing. I'm
and
totally
what
kidding.
you like. Whatever. This is so dumb. I'm not getting into this. I did not hear you say that, but I was saying my piece, and what you said was, I think what Mike's trying to say is this. And then when it came back around, you were like, that's what I said. Like we were in an argument about not agreeing with each other. So like, whatever. The whole fucking thing was a joke and out of context and whatever.
Oh yeah,
But
sometimes
like
we
it
find what
wasn't
all of
what
us
you
will
guys
do.
thought I was saying was not at all what I was trying to say. And then you caught it, but then it seemed like it was something that you were trying to say. It just was a mess of a conversation.
Yeah, we have all done sometimes is like one of us will just be like
This is going to go in
doing a
this episode?
throwaway.
Go ahead.
I always put the drama in the episodes. You're welcome. That's why they like it. Mikey likes it.
Mikey likes it. Mark likes
where
it.
like somebody will just be trying to give like a throwaway, like just like a funny, like, oh, add this, just say this, like lighthearted, whatever. And then someone will be like, that didn't happen. And then we end up in a conversation
For
that like
3
nobody
hours.
never meant to get into. And it's like, I don't even know why I said that. It was just, I thought it was funny. Clearly it wasn't funny because nobody got the joke. Okay. Meteor Wine. I love this long form schmutz. It gets better and better. All due respect, Courtney and Nat, on behalf of Paige and Sierra, you know the scene at the Surf Lodge. Fish in a barrel, a long line dying to go home with Emerald, and the summer house walk on is a cherry on a Sunday. This is high summer in the Hamptons. Party house. Mike is right. Anytime you
I'm
end a
Mike.
sentence
It's
with Mike
very
is right,
high.
I'm going to immediately be up.
I have one too. And this is from a teacher. You can't argue with a teacher. Mike, all caps, a bunch of I's and K's and E's. You're smashing this show. Thanks, Teach.
Smashing it is one way
Wait,
to
you
put
guys
it.
said the person's name. Teacher
was
what?
Teacher B.
You're welcome. Someone didn't teach him
Teacher
manners.
B. I love your take on things. Paige 100% sets her friends up. Sets up her friends to carry her gripes and takes her fights so she keeps her hands clean. Stay the fuck home. LOL. It's a party house. Thanks, Teach. Somebody else,
Teach.
Tanya Bluebell,
Okay.
says 100. She agrees too.
Okay.
So.
Meteor Wine also, after that,
Thanks for joining us tonight. Subscribe.
agree on the gluttony. I live in Montauk 6 months out of the years, and it has gotten crazy in the summer months. Our sleepy fishing village literally turns into Vegas after dark. No exaggeration. The salty breeze is perfumed with pheromones. It's not just emeralds, it's the girls too. Oh,
Well,
wait.
it has to be the girls. Like, well, there's a two.
Meanwhile, I'll be on the deck reading my book too.
Yeah. And I said, I'll be reading with you.
But wait, now I'm wondering, did I misread this? It's not just the. Oh, I thought she was saying it's not just Emerald's house, it's the girl's house too. But he was just using Emerald. Okay.
Yeah. No.
That booyah back in my face.
No, saying like it's everyone doing that. Yes. Which is my.
I know, but I
But
thought he meant
across
to
the
say
whole
it's
town.
not just Emerald's house, it's
It's the
also
girl-
the girls'
yes.
house.
No, it's the whole city. That's the vibe. That's every house
Okay,
too.
you
Every
like
house
Mike.
there in the summertime.
All right,
is
you hate all
what's
women.
going
Meteor
on.
Wine's like, "Yeah, not a nice guy. Just kidding. I really am truly kidding. It just so you know, we say that to Mike all the time, and he
It's a
really
running
loves
joke.
it. Gets real excited about it.
Right. Don't.
Oh God! Wait, did you already read Pat Clark? Yay, Rory! It was so exciting watching
Yeah.
Rory's response to winning the Masters.
Yeah, he claps too.
If I cared or had energy, I would ask about what happened because
Don't
Shane
do
posted no, don't tell me.
so
No,
the
no,
Masters-
don't tell me.
No.
La, 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 la.
He
Keep
won
looking
the
for your,
Grand
look
Slam.
more
It's a pretty
comments.
big
More
deal.
comments.
No, I want to know. I just want to know when I'm not this tired.
Okay.
You could tell me tomorrow or when we film next.
Fine.
Also, you would
Here's
tell
a
me
good
like
one.
I know what a Grand Slam is.
I mean, it's just the words. It sounds pretty amazing, right? Grand Slam.
No, but like if you said someone won the Triple Crown in horse racing, I would know what that means.
Okay, so if there was a quadruple crown in horse racing,
Yeah.
they got one of those in golf. He just did it.
There's all 4 big games, and he won all
them
4 of them.
Not in the same year, but he's in a career.
Oh, he's an EGOT.
Perfect. He's an EGOT.
Pat Clark says, I don't give a crap how many people Emerald screws, but my deal is no sleepovers with strangers. I want to see his partners. At first, I thought it said his parents. I was like, you tell
yes,
him.
Yeah,
I
we
do.
did,
Get him
yeah.
on the horn right
Yeah.
now. What kind of? There is something icky about secreting his partners in and out of the house. Don't be on reality TV. If you like to hide your partners, show us the partners. And that's what I want to say. I don't care about the partners. I don't care who's there. I just would like to meet them. It's weird that we've not seen one of them.
Let us meet your friends.
Yeah. I'd love to meet your little friend. That's what my mom would say. Who's your little friend?
Oh man, I hate it when mama say little. This one's from Build Indie. This is probably the best comment that we got all week. First time watching. I love the male host on this show. He's wonderful. Thank you. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I know. I'm barftastic, huh?
Yeah.
Whatever. We got into doing this, and we talk about it all the time. That things pop up that I never expected that would be so fun or the best parts of it, and it's you guys. This is Lori DeFranco. I'm usually alone, but I'm never lonely when I turn you guys on. I feel like part of the conversation on YouTube. That's
That
great.
got me.
That's what we want. That's super
Yeah.
awesome.
Also, love an Italian girl. From one Italian girl to another.
Why are you looking at me like that? Giving me dirty looks.
I know she's being so cute and she's falling asleep. When you go back to your phone, she goes, and then I do this, and then I do this. I do this, and then I do this from Waiting for Guffman. She's
I
asleep.
haven't seen that in so long.
It was Rebecca Krakow. I won't read her thing because I don't want to make you guys feel any sillier than you already do. But Rebecca Krakow, thank you for understanding what I was saying about Sierra and how we do that with dudes, but not with girls.
It's what I said. Am I speaking Mandarin?
It's not what you said. You said, I think what Mike is saying is, and then you said that. So
I
it's what
said-
I was saying, but we went around in circles for 20 minutes about it before you were like, I think what Mike is saying is, and then you said exactly what I was saying.
But I said it twice. I said it in the beginning. I said, I think what Mike's saying is XYZ. And then you went on and on. And Natalie goes, that's what Courtney said you said. No?
Listen, there was one time that I was like, I think she said exactly that.
No.
But
it was taken. It just was taken out of context, and that's fine. That's what happens on this with the three. Shit gets taken out of context all fucking day long, and then we try to take a thing out of context and then make a point based on that out of context thing. That's what happened.
And then I
And
leave
then we
in
just
what makes
kept
them look
going and
dumb. I
going
take
and
out what
going.
makes me look smart, and that
makes me look dumb.
Yeah. I zoom in on all this dumb stuff.
But thank you, Rebecca, for saying what Courtney couldn't.
I quit. I had an underactive thyroid for 19 years because no one in my family heard me. I am not repeating history here. I just got off the medication.
Well, time to get back on.
Sarah McBride says, yes, Snap, my jaw did actually drop when I watched that confessional of Jesse smirking, saying it's funny because I felt the same way about Lexi accusing me of stuff that was taken out of context or whatever it was. I actually mouth agape and wanted to go the fuck off on him. I just couldn't even. Sarah McBride couldn't even.
Yeah, Sarah's not happy with Jesse.
No, I'm so glad that we're all on the same. Sarah, so I keep saying Sarah's one that sent me whatever it was that I was just like, I don't know what to tell you, anyone. Like, so I thought that I just saw that flying through the air at the jar.
No, you couldn't have thrown it better if you tried. And he's like, speaking of the jar. Oh my God, you're such a good mom. I never give my cats. I mean, I give them treats sometimes, but
Bro, all fucking day long. These cats eat, no joke,
Mikey likes it.
50 treats a day. Every day I'm like, please don't give them that many treats.
they get treats as much as I get Postmates.
Dude.
Oh no. Oh, sorry. I thought she was going to barf.
She probably will. That's probably gonna happen. From Martin Conme. I know that's probably not even what your name is, but I'm reading
might
it
be. It's
like
cute.
that. It's so adorable. Natalie, I'm so sorry for your loss. What a sweet ending to your showcast. You love it. It's growing on you.
It's not, but that's fine.
No, it is.
It's
Because it's
fine.
growing on the show host. And that's
All that matters
something.
to me.
I said,
don't
I
have
love
to
it.
like
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as they do.
Continue.
It's
You've got the
perfect.
Showcasts platform.
As you were talking about your dads, I just melted away watching Mike gaze at you with love. I jumped into the world after Sandoval. I gave up on the Housewives, but was still hanging on to VPR. I always looked at Sandoval with a bit of side eye, but genuinely liked Ariana. Listening to podcasts was some form of therapy, I suppose. The betrayal shocked me. Then, just as I was tiring of the shows and analysis, I found you three. Courtney, Natalie, and Mike with the deep dives. And of course, the cats have crawled into this dog guy's heart. It just all works. Mahalo, Marty.
Mahalo, Marty. Oh, Marty, I love you.
So this comment and another comment is why I've been freaking out that I wasn't seeing older comments. Martin's comment and then another comment from Truth for Peace for Freedom were just some of the sweetest things that have been said to me. And there's been so many sweet things, but I would have just died at the thought of like thinking I was going to miss these because A, I need them for my soul, but also like I would never want someone to take time to write this and then not get a reply back. So again, I just wanted to say what I said on the Valley recap the other night. Like if it's not in the immediately preceding show, do the @ thing, tag us or whatever, because I don't wanna
People
miss
say,
this.
don't at me, bro. We're saying, no, at me, bro.
I've been saying that always. No one ever asks me, so I'll take all the ads I can get. So yeah, I'm like hesitant to even read truths, but I just feel like I know her like I never knew, and I love her, and that's all I'm going to say.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah, it was super beautiful, and I'll start crying if I read it. So I'm done with comments.
You're done?
Like and subscribe.
Well, no, I have one more comment, and then I have a shout out that I want to do. This is Miss Chevy 710. I think she's going to be another Nettie for me. We're on the same page a lot. I stand with Mike. It's a summer house. I don't care how many women in rule, however you spell it, and you nailed it, spelled it perfect. Brings back to Screw. He's single. Jesse is an undercover douchebag. It's interesting how Enroll gets a bad name for being honest, and Jesse gets to flirt with everyone, even his friends' girlfriends and wives. By the way, Lexi did an interview with Page 6 where she stated that Jesse and Sierra are hanging out now in real time. Don't let Sierra fool you all. She is not a girl's girl, which you were kind of mentioning. Not that she's not a girl's girl, but that you're not going to
Wait, did
pedestal
Lexi
her.
said, don't let Sierra fool you? She's
No,
not a
I
girl's
think Miss Chevy is saying that,
okay.
or MS Chevy is saying that.
Sierra can't be a girl's girl until she's a girl's girl to herself. She can't be a girl's girl to anyone until she's a girl's girl to herself. That might sound like the dumbest statement I've ever said, but it rings true after just sort of like what I've kind of watched with her. And I'm not saying that she's not one anyways, but there's something going on with her, and I hope that she figures it out sooner than later, because it's just so shitty to see someone who should have the world on a platter, and then it's like
tripping herself
it's
up.
being constantly tormented by something.
Yeah.
I don't know, but she's just a girl.
Standing in front
Lindsay?
of an F-boy asking him to like her.
This is one too that's in it made me. It was one of the comments that it doesn't happen often, but sometimes somebody will say something and it'll make me kind of rethink my stance on something.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah. Princess
Trust.
Francois. I'm assuming that's how that goes. Did one. Does a party house mean no limits? If Paige and Sierra are grossed out by him having sex with different random girls, they are 100% entitled to their opinions. They should not have expressed it in such a superior way, but they should have expressed it if they're that disrespected. And he has the right to disagree. P.S. I'm sad to hear about your dad's passing. May they rest in peace.
Thank you.
Francois, you are a gentleman and a scholar.
Yeah.
And
I don't think that's a gentleman. That's Princess Francois, but whatever.
You are
It's
a
2025. You can do whatever you want.
gentlewoman and a scholar.
A gentle they.
Whatever, you're right. That's all I meant to say. Shared a space and gluttony.
Also, in Rule 1, Johnny smiles over.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was good.
I feel like Emerald got more fans just by the way that Sierra handled it, turning them off. I think because I've been saying that, like, I can't remember who else that happened to. Oh, I think I started liking Emerald more when I noticed that Jesse was being a weirdo, and I was like, it made me realize that Emerald's just honest, and like it doesn't seem to be playing any games. I've also seen other comments. I think it might even have been on TikTok, because I'll look through a lot of comments on TikTok to see the vibe out there, and that that people have found girls that Emerald has had
relations with,
and they're like, this person was just saying like no notes, like everyone is like knows what they're here for, has a lovely time, moves on with their life, might see him again, might not, but like I don't know. Again, these are TikTok comments. I don't know who these people are.
I don't think he's doing anything.
No. I know
like
you don't.
Bad to these chicks.
I know you don't. But I wouldn't have even entertained that, because I just didn't care until I started seeing Jesse acting
a fool.
Yeah, and just being like, and it highlighted that someone else is not doing that. It's doing all the things he wants, and it doesn't include being shady and giving double stories and whatever. And then that's how I think people like Emerald, because they were bummed at that Sierra was like, sup,
Me and my underboob got a real bone to pick with you, buddy.
You see these? You ain't getting them.
I do have a shout out that I want to do. We shout out our little Showmance family all the time, and we love you guys. But we have one of our people that lost their son 4 years ago. His name was Everett, and we've all lost some people here lately. But they were. This is someone that Natalie talked about sharing a story with her, and they said if they had the money to buy a Super Bowl commercial, that they would let the world know that Everett existed and that he was a wonderful spirit with dark hair and blue eyes, and that he lived and he existed and he made his parents happy. And we're not a Super Bowl commercial, and we only have a couple thousand people that watch us, but we just thought it was right to let them know that Everett was here and he existed, and we wanted to give him a shout out. Yeah. So
He had a great mom.
he did have a great mom, Everett, and
Still
I'm
does.
assuming a great
Yeah.
dad too.
Yeah.
So Everett, thanks for being there. We'll keep your mom and dad company.
Yeah.
And to the rest of the kids, Michael, who's checking in on his mom every morning.
Christy's daughter, shout out.
Christy's daughter, shout
Yeah.
out. I think Nettie talks about her kids a lot. Shout out to the kids. We're all kids. We're getting our shout outs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can someone
Yeah.
hold this just like this?
Yeah, not young kids anymore.
No,
But
you
yeah.
don't want that to be the
Yes, I do.
no, no, no.
I stand in the mirror all the time and just go, just this. It's not a lot.
Stop.
Yeah. But we love you guys, and we love
Yeah.
this community, and we love that you guys chat with us, and we love to chat back. I talked to somebody yesterday that was like, she was saying how she loves that we interact, and I was like, I don't understand channels that don't. Like, this is social media. We're making media and content to be viewed and interacted with socially. That's what we're doing. It's the best. We love you guys, and we love that we get to keep you company now and put a smile on your face once in a while, because you guys are doing that for us every day that we get up and check the comments.
Yeah, it is such a good feeling.
Yeah. So thank you. And like and subscribe, or don't. Seems weird to say that now, but we love you guys. And we'll see you again on another day. Monday? Tuesday? I don't know.
We
She's
can
the
say.
Yeah,
editor.
no, this will be up Sunday. This is Summer House, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
this will be up Sunday, and yeah,
And we're back
pretty
for the
much
vow.
Fridays and Sundays is our post days for
Fridays
right
and
now.
Sundays. We got a schedule finally. Woo!
Woo!
All
Yeah,
right.
and then Summer House is like doing their reunion right now. So as soon as we actually keep that schedule for a couple weeks, it'll all be over.
That's life. The only constant is change.
Yeah.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Love you.
Okay.
bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Here's your charger. So if you're tired, you can charge yourself.
I hope that wasn't cheesy.
No, it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
I can't believe you didn't cry.
I did.
You're usually a big crier.
He almost did. I saw his chin. Yeah, see? I know. I know, Mark.